I've seen some amazing yodeling there, though.
We can turn on the player cams, or player mics, rather.
Ooh, I hear typing. I hear tactileness.
All right.
So MbL versus Liereyy. Basically, at this stage, both players undefeated.
That's the maps.
Well, that's very useful, MbL. He just put all of the
I
maps
pick.
in the chat.
What a man.
Seize the hump.
Seize the hump. We are going to seize the hump
I
and
pick,
from two.
Okay.
For the get-go.
Gold Rush.
This is going to be aggressive.
Yeah, Gold Rush. Think
Ban,
these guys want to go at it.
TaToH.
The water maps.
Ban Land Madness and Prairie.
Yeah, those
Alright.
maps can be kind of tricky to deal with, especially for dealing with Frank's on Lad Madness.
Oh,
as
of course,
as
it's such a
Nicov,
strong civ.
as Nicov just learned.
Oh man, what a ripper series.
Oh yeah,
And Prairie.
Prairie.
yeah.
Alright, so MbL's pick.
I ban. Huh?
What?
I
Nah.
ban Flooded Cross.
How's my casting strategy? I don't know, man. Do my best. Just go in
And who
there.
picks now?
Okay, Flooded Cross again. A really
Pick,
tricky map.
Regicide Fortress.
Regicide Fortress. There we go.
Lots of people liking some RF, especially the late game oriented players.
I pick Coastal Mountain.
Goes to Mountain.
I want to see that game 5.
This is fun. I hope we make it to game 5 today. Both these players deserve to have just a to get that
Link
far.
draft.
Oh yeah, Leary's loud, but yeah.
Send it to them.
Yeah, like Leary.
As always.
I host already. I'll just link it in the
Yeah,
chat
Leary's too loud.
yeah. And ask when he's ready.
What?
Ask Nili when he's ready to watch. I can do it. Okay.
This is where my check it on if I have this.
Reds.
Reds.
Yeah.
He's on keyboard. He's always switching the Ys into sets.
I don't care.
Names.
Doesn't matter.
I'm a dumb American. I do what I want.
You're Viper wannabe anyway.
That man.
Says the Norwegian.
Yeah. So, Chinese. If we see anything other than Chinese, Aztecs, Mayans, Slavs, I will be very surprised.
In those first couple picks, yeah. Mine's Aztecs, both for MbL. Straight away.
Oh, yeah.
Ban 1-2. That's what we've seen the entire tournament thus far, apart from, I think, like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
The old 1-2.
Larry taking his time, determining whether or not to pick. Ooh, Mongols.
Mongols.
Ooh.
That's really interesting, actually. And then Japanese behind that.
I mean, these are just the same civs we've been seeing all tournament long. It's
Just in a different order.
yeah, yeah, just a slight different iterations.
Maybe he's hoping he's just going to do the 1-2 ban and he'll miss.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Have to see for sure. Slavs, what a surprise!
What have we got? Next pick for MbL still.
They,
And
they really are taking their time to determine the same 10 civs that we see, or I guess 12, 14 civs.
hey,
I can do
order's
math.
important. The order is very important. So Berbers and Huns. MbL with Berbers, Liereyy with Huns.
Never
going for
seen
his
these
next
civs
pick.
before, man. Never before. Of course it matters who gets which ones. I'm just joking, the guys.
Incas.
Incas.
Alright. So not all the Eagle Warriors are falling to MbL.
Yep. Incas seem to be the lucky of the Amerindian civs in that they escape the bans a lot of the time. No one is picking Ethiopians? I've been rather surprised by that myself. Tanu, but yeah.
Indians.
I think people aren't a big fan of their eco.
last 3 picks here.
Yep.
Liereyy currently waiting on. And look at that concentration. He's deliberating nice and hard now.
Oh, yeah. What was nerfed in Burmese? You can just Google the patch notes around by were nerfed in essence.
Vikings.
We've seen them here and there.
We've definitely seen them here and there, and they've always had a really good result, actually.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Is Saracens on the overlay?
There's Malians.
Malians? One of
And
my
last pick
favorites.
for MbL, then we get into the bands.
And Vietnamese. Turks.
Saracens.
Khmer.
They've finally figured it out, how to play the Khmer.
Oh, yeah.
And Spanish.
The-
Look, expected.
No. The best way to play Khmer is to play Spanish.
I forgot the system to ban again.
What?
I forgot who bans first.
You
Oh
ban
my
first,
god,
right?
what
I
plebs.
bans the first.
Oh, he bans first. You.
I ban first.
Yes.
Ban Chinese.
Chinese ban.
Yep, the one.
I ban Mayans and Aztecs.
Okay. I ban
So I think this one needed to
So it means an Aztecs 1-2.
Japanese.
And
Ooh,
Japanese.
The 1-3.
1-3.
Oh man, going off into crazy land.
That's it, the meta's been broken already. We haven't even started.
Oh no, that's not what I wanted, man.
We'll get there. And Green Cross.
All right.
Okay, we're ready to go.
TZ,
What?
because I still
We
don't
are
care
ready,
about why.
right?
It's living down here.
Yeah, I don't care. Oh yeah, so I need to make a Liereyy host, right?
Alright, Liereyy, looks like you get blue, my friend.
Yep, because he was the player listed on the top. Oh wait, no, yeah, MbL has to up himself or whatever.
Spec.
Oh wait, I forgot that.
There we go. Alright, we are ready to roll. Man, both players have not lost a series yet. We're on day 3. Nili's Apartment Cup. Someone's got to lose, and I'm excited for that.
Yes, watching people suffer is really just a pure joy in life. No, but this should be a really excellent series in all honesty. I said 3-2 Larry. I see some of that in chat.
Man, just both players are so good. I actually don't know which way this is going to go. I do hope we end up in a 5-game series, just because I think both players deserve to fight it out that hard, and at the same time, it's just good viewing.
Oh yeah. They are in the lobby. Hopefully we'll get into this soon. Of course, we're going to be starting on Arabia, as we do with every single series.
You say that like it's a bad thing. I've been loving it.
Dude, I almost exclusively play Arabia. Best map.
That's it.
Not one of those BF plebs like Mem.
Ooh. Woo! It's heating up in here already. We haven't even started the first game.
Oh yeah. Well,
All right, boys.
well, one day they'll hit.
That's it. We'll get there. For now, it's just Relaxation City.
They might need to remember that you need to hit the checkbox that says I'm ready.
14.
There
All
we
right.
go.
Here we go. Would you like to
turn
do the
up- yep.
introduction, or would you like me to?
You can take it away. 50%? Okay.
Whoa. Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Not good. We had some nice music there for a second, but not good.
No.
What happened? Hanging up?
Do you think it was something that trying to alter the volume as we were loading?
No, potentially. Okay, let us join.
Yeah.
That's all good, guys. We'll catch up. No stress.
Oh yeah, very, very good casters. All of them.
And here we go. This is what we want to see. The game is absolutely up and running. We've got sound going here at the moment as well. So down towards the south of the map in the blue, we do have AM's Liereyy playing as the Malians. Towards the top in the north in the red, we do have MbL playing as the Berbers.
Oh boy. Got the battle.
Oh boy.
Battle of some African civs here. Let's take a look at their maps real quick. You already have MbL going over to the wood line here. Seems like it's at least somewhat okay. Yeah, well, I guess you can sort of wall to the edge of the map, kind of wall to the TC, but the gold is just so forward out in the open, and, you know, this is kind of your only decent wood line here if you are MbL. Get to work, villager. You're lazy. Lazy. There we go.
All right, let's have a look around. So, like you were saying, very, very open maps. Looks like both players are actually going to run into that as well. Liereyy towards north of his town center. Very, very open. So going to have a little bit of trouble there. Does have a lot of hills on the front as well. Look, end of the day, these guys are teammates as well, so I'm really interested to see if we do have any laming going on, just because, look, this is what we see from these guys pretty much from the get-go. MbL especially, probably, look, not so much anymore, but it has been his bread and butter for a long time. So let's see if he does decide to pull this one out on the teammate.
Well, no one going out to the other side of the map just yet, just looking for their starting resources. We do have 4 sheep already collected for MbL's, and looks like Lierey's missing actually all 4, kind of to the left side of his base. I have no idea what this pause is for. Okay, he at least knows where 2 of them are.
So he's got some of his key resources located already, which is quite nice. And I'm kind of just keeping an eye on the mini-map, because like I was explaining before, these guys know each other very well, and I have a feeling they might try and take every advantage they can get, because like I was saying earlier, these players both have not lost a set or dropped a set thus far in Nili's Apartment Cup, so the winner of this is going to be pretty on top.
Oh yeah, certainly. Of course, as you no doubt heard from the last series, these 2 players, they know each other very well. They have they have opinions about each other. So yeah, we'll have to see if that manifests itself. And of course, something that we always have to consider when we have 2 teammates playing is that there's almost certainly going to be some mind games, because obviously these guys play together all the time. And of course, these guys know each other's strategies in and out. We'll have to see how they respond to that.
Exactly. The game sense here is going to be absolutely key. They've practiced together. They've played so many games together that they should have a near perfect read on each other. And to see if anyone kind of pulls something out of the box, does something extremely dumb just to kind of break that meta that they know from each other so well already, it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. And kind of looking around the map here towards the east of Lierey's base, he's got a lot of hills he can kind of utilize in his wall off. Doesn't exactly have the most kind of wood lines to move between those, so that's probably the biggest worry I have for him at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. At least for Liereyy, the wood in the back is super safe. It's going to be like nigh on impossible to trust that. And before things heat up too much, as I don't think we're seeing any laming, other than just some deer being pushed, but that's obviously not laming. What do we think of the Civ matchup? I think it's going to have to be Malians with the edge in the early game, possibly going forward with some man-at-arms shenanigans, maybe towers. Liereyy, not the most tower-loving player in the world. But yeah, obviously taking advantage of those nice eco bonuses. But of course, as the game drags on, I feel like Berbers should just have the much more cost-efficient armory composition.
I think you bang on there, absolutely bang on. Towards the west of MbL's TC as well, we can notice he has actually started walling very, very early. For anyone watching ECL, you would know that CL is probably one of the earliest wallers in the game, generally around 4 minutes. I think MbL started about minute 5 there. So he's not looking to drop anything. He wants to make this as hard as possible for Liereyy, and he's giving him no chance to really have any issues here when it comes on.
Yeah, certainly. And, you know, in doing this wall, it's, I guess, just going to be walling maybe to, like, around the mill area, and then towards the TC, and then probably from this wood line, as you can see here, right up to the TC, and then, you know, around the edge of the map. So he's going to be giving himself a decent amount of space to work with, and I think this is kind of what Berbers want in this scenario. Likely 21 pop right now, no barracks on the field, so this is almost certainly going to be for scouts. Yes, Berber's scout opening is somewhat generic, but, you know, it sort of gives you that stable, and you want to be going in the general direction of cavalry anyway, so we do see that a lot from this civilization. Meanwhile, it's going to be the rarely seen, quote-unquote, drush coming in from Liereyy. And of course, Malians, they have an incredibly strong eco and can do pretty much anything pretty well. But I think this is going to probably struggle to find some damage here.
I agree. MbL's got his walls up so quickly that anything's going to be pushed to the town center. And when we look at the whole matchup here, you've done a great job of covering everything, by the way. So everyone, you should be in a really good spot here. You should know exactly what we're going to see. But both players pretty much keeping it relatively standard. We're at the first game in the series. No one's doing anything insane. They want to get off that early lead because end of the day, we're at a 5 games here, best of 5 series, first to 3, and really what we want to see is them kind of move up. The psychology is going to make a really big difference here. Whoever gets the first game is going to be feeling a lot more confident in their play.
Oh yeah, certainly. As Liereyy, he's definitely stone cold killer. He's not going to be I think too affected or get tilted too easily. MbL is MbL. Definitely someone who can maybe get demotivated if he's down. Dragging me into the spotlight.
Oh, I just want to get closer. You know how this is.
Oh yeah, Kappa Pride.
All right,
yeah, here we
still
can
running around.
Yeah, we can see this Drush continue to not do anything. It was not doing anything before and is still not doing anything. And due to the literal full wall coming in from MbL, no shame whatsoever. He's just going for the stable. Going to be probably making some amount of scouts. Liereyy, of course, the best way to deal with your opponent walling themselves is to wall yourself. A little bit of an unfortunate wall there for Liereyy. Probably could have gone like here and here to better secure the gold, but it's not too big of a deal. And then probably just going to be doing something around the front of his base. Actually did do a lumber camp over on this side. Maybe just going to be trying to give some space so he can definitely not lose this wood line. And of course, taking these deer as well. Quite bold, but not thinking that MbL is going to be going out too quickly with some scouts. And we've seen MbL go for a rather lackadaisical amassing of scouts.
Look, slowly but surely, we know that's how it goes. Liereyy does look like he's brought his Drush home as well. Couldn't find any damage with it, so may as well use it to protect those villagers over on the side there. Means they'll be able to defend from a couple of scouts, so he's not at too high a risk there. But I do like the way both players have set up their bases here. They've given themselves a lot of room to build up behind it, get their economy going, without having to expand too far beyond their walls.
Yeah, certainly. And didn't have the chance to mention this earlier, but Liereyy was going up to the feudal age way too quickly to go for the fast castle play, so we can see from his resources, definitely not going to be clicking up anytime soon. Just going to be going for the good old Drush into flush play, party like it's 2013 or something. Ooh, but here we go. MbL going to be going for the kill, instantly getting a kill on the villager. Somewhat unfortunate pathing there for a red player. Losing 2 scouts, gaining 1 villager, probably not worth it right there for MbL.
Look, I like the fact that at least you got the villager there, but yeah, the pathing did make things an issue there. Obviously, Liereyy moving in with the spear as well, thinking about that one ahead of time. Great play from him. He knew it was coming, and I really do like this defensive style he's got, because he knows he's going into archers. He's got that there. Was worried about the scouts moving in, had his militia out defensively, had the spear ready to go, and he got a good engagement out of it.
Oh yeah, certainly, and we can see just by the military count that with only 2 military right now, MbL doesn't really have a whole lot. He's very much relying on his walls to keep him safe. Not really, again, focusing too hard on the scout production. Archery range coming in, was expecting to see this. I mean, you're not going to get up to the castle age just not building any sort of defense. Though, of course, I think MbL is probably going to make as few skirmishers as possible to stave off these archers and then probably get a pretty good castle age time. But Lierey's resources looking pretty good already to do so, and actually even ahead of MbL in that regard, of course, getting that eco advantage from the Drush.
This is a really good play from both players. I like how stable this has been. We are going to see the pressure on the walls now from Liereyy. Obviously, MbL going to try and wall up a little bit behind this as well. Even giving it some birth, he does know the archers are there, so not getting himself into trouble too early on. And of course, without a tower, it makes it very hard for Liereyy to push in here. Already has the defensive skirms out as well, so he should be able to clean this one up, or at least kind of deflect it for now.
Oh yeah, certainly. Even just 1 skirmisher is going to, throw his little wet noodle at this skirmisher, slowly poke him away. Archers, no fletching here for Liereyy, but ooh, here we go. Trying to pick off, I guess, the villagers that were still gathering from these deer. That was incredibly greedy from Liereyy. That seems like, okay, that's a little too, oh, I don't care about my defenses, so yeah. Gonna be losing, looks like a couple more villagers right there at the cost of maybe a scout. Yeah, just looks like 1 scout. Going to be giving our red player a definite 3 villager eco lead going into the late feudal age here.
That's it, 32 for Liereyy and 35 for MbL. The military counts, however, 14 for Liereyy, 6 for MbL. So MbL is getting that slow economic lead, but at the same time, we are seeing Liereyy start to pull away with that military lead. So Liereyy at this stage does have a lot more map control, but as OrnLu was pointing out before, we were expecting an earlier castle time from Liereyy as well.
Yep, you can see Liereyy right here. I think he's going to be clicking Castle Age before fletching. He knows what a passive player MbL is. Obviously, despite being somewhat known for his laming, definitely I think even more characteristic of MbL is just what a defensive passive player he is. And going to be playing a little bit greedier is Liereyy, trying to take advantage of that 16:59 Castle Age time. Pretty solid, all things considered. And, you know, MbL's not going to be too far behind, but we're going to see Liereyy up to the Castle Age faster and likely going to want to make something happen with these crossbowmen.
Earlier in the matchup, we did mention as well how much these players play against each other. Practice, obviously same team as well. They've got game after game together, especially with the amount MbL's been playing recently. And the thing to take away from that is they know each other's strategy. Liereyy didn't over-engage here, didn't try and put any extra resources in that he wasn't going to get anything out of, didn't worry about fletching until he'd already hit Castle Age. And that's basically so he didn't fall behind, could get ahead in the early lead, because he wasn't expecting MbL to move out. And that game sense is absolutely phenomenal from him.
Yeah, and this Castle Age it's getting a little bit slower-ish, which feels weird to say at 18-19, but MbL, as there's, I guess, some sort of pause or something, slowly garrisoning the villagers so he can get the food he needs to click up. So definitely going to be a little over halfway to the Castle Age slower in terms of research length, and there we go. And we're going to have to see, okay, are these defenses here enough for MbL to prevent the likely incoming crossbows from Mr. Liereyy, which are sitting in his base.
Look, I like the walling for MbL. It's really good. It's away from his key resources, which is nice, but the range on the crossbows, man, you just lose so much ground straight away, and even then, they get through palisades so quickly, especially gates, but ooh, man, I'm not feeling likely it's going to do too much damage, because MbL has just been such a good player throughout this entire series already, and I don't think it's like him to drop off on something like that. He's already expecting this style of play. He's seen the archers. He knows what's coming.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Liereyy is being so passive with his archers here. Not going to be, you know, able to... Okay, he's going to get to the Castle Age. He's going to instantly research crossbowmen and fletching, I assume, quite shortly, or bodkin rather. And yes, he will, but look at all this time. Archer's not a particularly fast. You're going to have to walk all the way across the map to his opponent's base. Going to be allowing MbL to tick closer and closer to that Castle Age. And once, of course, MbL is in the Castle Age, he can go for those Berber power units. Knights, of course. And of course, you can grab Elite Skirmisher just to defend off the crossbowmen. And I think that looks like MbL should be fine to defend this.
Perfectly said. Probably the big part of this is the fact that Liereyy got his tech upgrades. He was back at his base, though, so he couldn't come forward, make the use out of them, while the issues from MbL, obviously, was he's going to have a tech disadvantage. So Liereyy having to move out across the field, taking the time to get there. MbL's going to be able to tech up just behind us before the first attack really comes in. Liereyy moving forward, looks like he will try and get through the palisade there. MbL does have the chance to wall up behind this, but we've already got Elite Skirmisher, Bodkin on the way. Looks like he's just going to meet this head on and try and push it back.
MbL a little bit sloppy right there, losing a villager when he very much knew that his opponent's crossbowmen were there, and we see Liereyy with a very quick ballistics upgrade. Of course, Malians do have that 80% faster researching university, so you can really jam out that tech super quickly, and we're likely going to be seeing that patented Liereyy micro on his crossbowman. Just going to try and totally out-micro these skirmishers. Let's see how it goes.
Look, it's always a dangerous engagement to take, but when you know what you're doing, he's got ballistics as well, so MbL's going to struggle to retreat without some pretty good dancing behind this. And look at that, the scout's even on top of it as well, trying to get as many of the shots towards it as he can. This is actually really good play from Liereyy, and look at that, he's in through the walls. We haven't seen a backup wall from MbL yet. Does start to get around the lumber camp there, but Camel's on the way in.
Interesting choice, Camels, right? He should have known his opponent was going for almost entirely crossbowmen. Yes, of course, the Camels will quickly deal with this Knight, but with no upgrades on these Camels, you can't imagine that they're going to do anything to these crossbowmen, man. I mean, with +2 and ballistics already, yeah, not going to be too effective. +2 defense on the skirmishers already coming in, really wanting to say, no, Liereyy, I don't want to deal with your crossbowmen, man. Just throw skirmishers at the problem. Villager count, of course, pretty much dead even now. We do see a second TC here from Liereyy, of course, cheaper wood cost on the Malian buildings. Quite nice in getting your economy up and rolling. Looks like another skirmish going to be going on over here as hopefully Liereyy tries to take another little bit of an edge.
MbL also on TCs, as you can see there as well, up to 2 himself, so hasn't fully gone into military, but at the same time, not forgetting about his economy, making sure to do what he can there. And look at this micro from Liereyy. He's just doing everything he can to make these crossbows count. But MbL looks like he will trap him in the side there.
Yeah, and Liereyy getting a little bit cornered right now. He has a much larger army, but as you know, you were saying earlier, you can see the blue dots just stream all the way across the minimap. But yeah, that means if they're across the map, they're not in the fight that's happening way here at the north of the map. Skirmisher's just going to be so efficient at cleaning up those crossbowmen, and we are likely going to be seeing our red player start to stabilize right here. Siege Workshop coming in, though, from Liereyy forward. He does not want to let up on this pressure, as it looks like MbL is indeed going to be going to his third town center, going to be trying to do the good old MbL boom, and now it's going to be down to him to defend against this very likely continued aggression.
Man, he's done such a good job at defending this. I can't believe it. He's lost barely nothing in the efforts. Went straight for his counter. He knew the play that was going on. The game sense was phenomenal. And really now he's put himself in a really advantageous position to begin to deal with this. He's basically forced Liereyy back across the map, as we can see here. The Siege Workshop was originally going to be put down, but it looks like it's actually been pulled back from the front lines there as well. So Liereyy not looking at overcommitting in MbL's economy. Hopefully he'll be able to skyrocket from here, and this is the advantage he'll be able to take.
Yeah, but, you know, all things considered, despite MbL staving off that aggression, it's not like Liereyy was, by all means, all in with that. I'm pretty sure... No, he's only on the 2 TCs still, so we should expect MbL to pull ahead fairly soon. Market even coming in for our red player, and like I was saying earlier, Berber's just almost certainly going to be having the stronger, more population cost-efficient army as this game drags on. Liereyy still likely going to want to get some damage done. Of course, this kid is known for his Castle Age aggressive play, and here we are coming in with some knights and some crossbows. It's the Wombo combo.
And if the Siege Workshop at the front's not going to confirm that, we know that's exactly what he wants to do here. 2 town centers so he can balance his eco with some kind of military push, getting that Siege Workshop down at the front as well, but still in a relatively defendable position, so he's not going to lose it too quickly if MbL does decide to transition. This is going to be a good play from him, but Liereyy right now, he needs to break in, or basically Liereyy is just going to snowball from here. The longer this match goes, the better position Liereyy is going to be in.
Yeah, certainly. We do have the house coming in here for MbL. Looks like Liereyy, again, going to be catching some villagers on this wood line. Going to be some nice kills. Ooh. Getting around 3 right there. Just always nice to pick off. As you've been seeing constantly throughout this tournament, it's all about getting those small fractional advantages and just snowballing that throughout the course of the game. But, you know, MbL, he's fine. He's got house walls here. These units aren't going to be able to punch through. They're going to have to take the fight on MbL's terms over here. Going to be seeing the armor upgrades coming in as we see more and more of a transition over to the greater cavalry focus. Got 4 knights now queued up in the stable. Going to be really trying to go for the power play with Berbers right there.
Both players have been playing to the nail, and every single kill is just starting to rack up. We've got 25 to 24, 25 to 25, basically dead even here. And then on top of that, you can see Lierey's even kept his militia alive. He's not letting anything go he doesn't have to. Will they help out in the fight? Probably not. Did he let them die? Absolutely not. They may be useful, and I guess we'll find out as the game goes on.
Maybe. Well, Thumb Ring coming in for Liereyy, so he will have both Ballistics and Thumb Ring, really maximizing the damage output on these crossbowmen. More and more knights are queued up. Critically, though, not having +2 defense. MbL getting Ballistics himself. Probably going to want to delay this fight as long as possible. There is only this Palisade Gate blocking these villagers. We see MbL retreating over here. Mangonel hit onto the skirmishers, forcing them away. There are a few camels here, but is it going to be enough for MbL to hold?
Camels have only got the +1 armor as well, so Liereyy going to be able to take them out very quickly with some good crossbow micro, which, look, he is known for these style of plays. His micro is nearly unsurpassed at the moment, but at the same time, these Mangonels pushing forward, they're going to actually be able to begin to put a dent in the production here if MbL doesn't have any answers. But that's a lot of knights.
Yeah, guys, there are 10 knights, about to be 11 queued up in between these 2 stables. Oh, no.
Attack from the south as well, by the looks of things.
Oh,
so
looks
he's
like
going to get him in here. That's a pincer.
It's the old flankadoodle, and oh man, these crossbows, they are running for the hills. Knights instantly hopping right on those Mangonels, getting them out of the equation as quickly as possible, and we've seen this time and time again. Knight plus skirmisher, demolishing a knight plus crossbow army, so long as you can snipe those all-important Mangonels. Upgrades also significantly better on the units just in general for MbL across the board. Gonna solidify him a pretty clean victory in this fight.
There was nothing Liereyy could do. The way that MbL decided to wrap around there, man, he couldn't even choose to retreat from the fight. The moment all those knights popped out, he knew it was game over. We had the wraparound from behind with the skirmishers, and that pretty much sealed the deal. Lierey's still trickling units across the map, though. He can't fight this at the moment. He needs to go back home, or he's just going to lose everything.
Yeah, it seems like, yeah, we gotta bring the boys home, man. Gotta just do a big old U-turn here on the Highway Arabia. Gonna be trying to go back to the base of Liereyy, but, well, the military counts are pretty even. It's not like MbL has been powering the military too much, trying to, again, really focus on getting his army very well upgraded. And these knights, I mean, with getting a husbandry right now, they have bloodlines +1/+2, and of course that husbandry upgrade, skirmishers +2/+2, and ballistics. And yeah, it's going to be, I think, a matter of how much damage can MbL try to do, or is he just going to try and sit back and boom?
Man, we've got Liereyy in a position here where he did just get absolutely dominated by MbL in that fight. Just some absolutely amazing thinking there, really pulled him into it. And Lierey's going to be able to camp that hill at the front there, not something he's going to want to lose. He's got the siege workshop there already, got the remainder of his crossbows kind of sitting on there, but that was just such a high IQ play there from MbL. He knew the commitment was coming from Liereyy, and he abused the hell out of his knowledge.
Oh yeah, certainly. Looks like a little bit of a fight happening here. Cute little flank to line formation micro there from Liereyy. Going to be trying to snipe these random knights, but of course upgrades are still in favor of MbL. Military count, though, slightly in favor of Liereyy. This fight is pretty even. Looks like, yeah, especially with the faster reinforcements, and especially these 2 camels arriving to the party, we'll see our red player forced back for the time being, though, of course, as I was highlighting earlier, going to now be on 4 stables is MbL, and that is a lot of possible Berber Knights here.
This is looking like it's going to turn into insanity very, very quick. As we pointed out early in the matchup, MbL did go for a more economic approach here, and that's how he's ended up at 96.
What were those crossbowmen doing? They were just going real far forward, and oh man, you can see them starting to be picked off. You see MbL really focusing down those ranged units. Camels are going to be at least, you know, relatively good against the knights. It's not like the upgrades are too bad here for Liereyy, just 1 armor upgrade down, but the numbers are just not in his favor right now. He's down in military, he's down in economy, and yeah, there is really, I don't think, much of an opportunity. MbL just kind of slamming the door right in Lierey's face.
MbL is punishing every single move here. The moment Liereyy steps out of position, makes a bad decision, he's not letting him get away. He's doing wraparounds, he's making sure he's cutting off every single angle of retreat, and look at this, MbL is starting to get to a point where he's in full map control. Liereyy can't really move out from his base. He's trying to find somewhere to really push from, but the camels are the only thing I'm worried about now.
Yeah, of course, the camels are going to do pretty well against the knights and the skirmishers. Not really a whole lot to answer that, but this mangonel, pretty out of position. We're not going to be seeing MbL commit to that. Doesn't want to run into those camel scimitars. And yeah, of course, these guys not really wanting to go too crazy on the aggression. 4 crossbowmen here coming in from Liereyy. MbL's like, okay, I'm tired of losing villagers over on this wood line, but unfortunately, those skirmishers, they are not caring about these poor stone miners, man. They're like, that is not my job. That's not what I'm paid for. And MbL will lose a couple of villagers there. Not going to be too big of a deal. Villager count still pretty even between these guys, but it's that military count that's just so in favor of MbL.
Oh, and MbL's on the way to Imperial as well. I'd like to point out from Liereyy, we did see a lot from him casting last game, but the 36-minute wheelbarrow getting dropped down from him here as well. And big fight on the front here. We do have the knights, a couple of camels mixed in for MbL as well. Skirmishers pushing in from behind, and it looks like Liereyy is on the run again. The mangonel trying to get the shots where it can, but he's just so out-popped.
Oh yeah, his army is just not really where it needs to be, and I think that Liereyy trying to make this aggression happen really has been costing him a lot, and you can just see military not anywhere near where he wants to be, and we see barracks coming down here. Of course, do have a castle drop here now coming in from MbL. Oh man, defensive watchtower as well. Why not? MbL going to be switching over into the LC.
Oh, this could be bad. The camels are on position. Will deny the castle. And he deletes it. He deletes the castle.
Not a care in the world, and I have no idea why MbL decided to go for the castle drop down here, totally unprotected, and then he has his army all the way up here where it's not doing anything useful. So, you know, I just don't understand it. Liereyy now going into the pikemen, and this is somewhat worrying to me for Liereyy, because Malian pikemen, yes, they're a bit more resistant to arrow fire, but oh man, are they not so good against cavalry.
Man, I'm still trying to get my head around that play we saw there from MbL. Looks like he could have just been going for the sneaky castle, just hoping that Liereyy didn't spy it. He was busy with the army up towards the front, but there we go, a much more safer and secure castle from MbL there on the front. Does have the hill advantage to work with it as well. And another big fight going down. The camels doing their best against the knights, but those skirmishers firing in as well aren't going to make things easy. Pike's moving in now and will help deal out with the rest of the knights, the rest of the camels. And again, Liereyy is just looking so low on numbers.
Yeah, I mean, we see this military difference, 40 to 15 in favor of our red player. And, oh man, with the imp coming in, are we going to be seeing the GG here from Liereyy? Things are looking incredibly desperate for him. He's trying to hold on with these pikemen, but, I mean, MbL's just going to be able to upgrade his cavalry, and we do see that GG coming in here from Liereyy. And, man, Turk, that was a pretty clean game number 1, I have to say.
MbL just showed how well he knew Liereyy from the get-go. His tactics, his strategy, everything was perfectly on point. He knew Liereyy was getting aggressive. He knew exactly how this was working out, and he punished every single movement. He didn't let anything get away, and even then he had his defensive castle up. He had his staging position. He was ready for this game to go so much longer, but all the moves there, I would say he just outplayed Liereyy at every turn.
Yeah, I mean, he was really prepared for Lierey's aggression right there, and again, it just totally slammed the door in his face, did MbL. Just check the achievements real quick, unlike the previous guy's Kappa. But yeah, I mean, it's not like there's a little bit of a food advantage for MbL, nothing too crazy. Again, it's just all of those small little advantages from our Norwegian player, and that will be game number 1 in the books.
Man, this is a series I want. Every single thing, I want it all account. The strategy, the micromanagement, and we're seeing that already, and we've only had game 1. This is a best of 5 series, guys. We could potentially see all 5 games out of these players, and that's really what I'm hoping for here. So, a lot of civs basically left to go at the moment. We do have Seize the Hump coming up, potentially one of the most brutal games yet to come, and we know why. It's basically just because any issue that comes in on Seize the Hump is going to be because there's Dark Age, Feudal Age aggression, and most games basically end in late Feudal Age, early Castle Age.
Oh yeah, certainly. I have no idea what is going on with these X's, man. They are all out of order. So we're just going to do that, because we don't have a better idea, and by we I mean me.
We got there. It shows what we need to.
Does that
Nearly.
This one's Berbers?
Whoop.
Nope.
Nope.
It's on
Incas.
the total other side of the board. This makes absolutely no sense, man. We're just gonna move this
Just
guy
drag and
over.
drop, my friend.
Yeah, messing things up a little bit with the overlay, but you know, that's not my problem.
All right, let's have a look. So Seize the Hump coming up. I guess, what civs are you expecting out of this one?
So I think Japanese. Well, actually, they're banned. What am I talking about?
Japanese, no, it would have been an absolutely
It would have been a
awesome
great
pick.
civ if
That's
if
and
they weren't
probably
banned.
the reason. Exactly, it was banned.
Yeah. So, I think Incas should be a solid pick.
Yep.
Of course, just really strong in that early game. Eagle's going to be a solid option. Cheaper tower is going to be quite nice and securing the
And of
all-important hump. And for MbL, Celts maybe again just a strong early game civ.
Look, it's going to give him that militia bonus kind of towards the start there, where, look, this is a map where we see pretty much militia openings every single time.
Oh yeah, definitely. MbL asks us if we're ready. I say yes.
The answer is yes.
The answer is 1 specifically.
1, no more 1s though. That would be laughter. We're ready. Oh man, that's a soundbite right there. But we are game number 2, guys. We had MbL take the first game in an absolute onslaught. His strategy proved him so far ahead. Liereyy, though, however, we know an amazing player. So let's see exactly what this one does come down to. Who gets the advantage, and if Liereyy can even this up, or if MbL starts to pull away with it.
We'll have to see here. We have Liereyy taking the jacket off. Things are getting serious.
Ooh, I like it. He's warming up. He's ready to go.
man.
MbL, though, still wearing the trademark hoodie.
Oh yeah, everybody's favorite Adidas mascot.
All right, we should be in any second here, and man, I am just... I've been so excited for this entire series, but now, remember guys, both these guys haven't lost yet. This is going to show us exactly who's on the top of the heap here.
Oh yeah, I mean, as we've been mentioning in and out, we have the 2 top players performing in this tournament so far. Neither has lost a series. Looks like they're probably exchanging some degree of banter. But you know,
Hopefully trash talk. I would love to see that.
I would hope so. Maybe they can start the game. You know, let their gameplay do the talking.
Well, MbL really proved it last time. Hopefully Lierey's got something we can throw at him, because playing standard like that won't get him anywhere.
Indeed, it will not. Let's go, Turkman, and let's seize the hump.
Seize that hump. Game number 2, we do have MbL versus Liereyy. MbL winning the first game of the series. In the blue, we do have Liereyy playing as the Incas. Red, we have MbL as the Celts.
Just making sure we have the game volume all good to go. And indeed, as Turkman is saying, Liereyy going to be here in the west of the map, in the left eyeball of this duck bill smiley face. and in the right will be MbL as the Celts, as you're mentioning, and of course the most notable feature of this map, the hump, where all of the gold, stone, and forage bushes are located. All you have are your sheep, some deer, and some boar, and a few scattered trees around your TC, and of course a whole lot of shallows in between. Who's going to go for the most aggressive play here? Because I feel like that is the key in this map.
Oh, absolutely. There's a reason this map is called Seize the Hump, and that's you need these resources badly. We always see a super aggressive opening, pretty much a drush from the get-go. Both players picking a great civ to get into that one. Good feudal ages from both civs as well, so hopefully we see a nice and aggressive play. Of course, MbL with Celts going to have a little bit of a bonus with those militia, whereas I guess Liereyy, when it comes down to it, if he does get the blacksmith upgrades behind things, his villagers will be able to tank a lot more damage, so he can pull them into the fold.
Oh yeah, definitely. And this is a map where your villagers end up taking a lot of punishment throughout the feudal age.
You are not wrong.
Yeah, it can be pretty rough if you're a peasant on this map, as it's not awful on every map. Poor peasants. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit better if you're Incas and can get those blacksmith techs. But I think it's going to come down to towers, of course. And let's take a look. Where are the most convenient gold spots? This is not the greatest for Liereyy. He has this gold all the way over here. He has a stone. And yes, if, maybe he puts an LC over here, maybe towers and such, but having the gold that far away, not the greatest. And already we're seeing our red player MbL move out. And this, I'd say, is a much more convenient location when it comes to wood, gold, and stone.
I love it. MbL already making a little bit of a decisive action here, choosing to put his lumber camp initially on the actual hump itself. Has Liereyy thrown down his lumber camp at home? Looking at the mini-map, it looks like he has a little bit of a wolf issue there as well. But there we go. First distinction in the gameplay here, guys. We had Liereyy put his lumber camp at home, MbL whack one down on the hump, so he's getting into that area very quickly.
Oh yeah, certainly. And I honestly really like that play on this map. I feel like just going as aggressive as humanly possible is usually a pretty good idea here. Lierey's got his Eagle Scout running around. I don't know.
What's he waiting for?
I don't know if maybe he's going to just try and poke away at the Scout as it tries to lure some deer. Looks like it did get one hit off, as we do see 4 HP down on MbL Scout. But as far as I can tell, there weren't any boar steals or anything like that. 4 sheep left here for Liereyy. Not that many, actually, for MbL. Not sure where those ended up, but...
Did we seal the steal from Liereyy, potentially? And
well, he's got another sheep coming in here, so maybe he did.
that's going to be my guess there, because that eagle was a bit out of position, obviously. Liereyy has, however, scouted MbL. He does know he's on the actual hump itself, so he is under the impression that he's going to be making a move for that one very, very quickly. So hopefully we'll see an even quicker aggressive push from Liereyy in here, because he can't afford to let MbL have that issue.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, going to be trying to be as efficient as possible, wait for the boar to expire before going on to the next one, and thankfully for Liereyy, Mr. Boar was being quite cooperative and waiting to be executed right there. But yeah, I think it's again going to be who's going to click up to the feudal age first. We do actually see MbL maybe grabbing Loom. Yes, he did. So he will be one villager.
Good stuff.
One villager behind for the time being, not wanting to get harassed by this eagle by the looks of things.
Still might. That's a low HP villager.
Yeah, it's not the most HP on a villager right there. Might have been the one that was attacked by the wolf earlier, and the Eagle Scout was probably getting a few picks off. But nothing too crazy.
He's looking for it.
Oh, he's looking for it. The question is he going to get it? And will this affect the feudal age time here from MbL? I'm not too sure, but we'll have to go and see. Barracks coming down here for Liereyy. I believe he will be our first player to throw that down.
Is indeed. MbL, of course, still just building up. Looks like he did just do a garrison on the town center as well. So looking at getting his resources where he can. And still no barracks. Looking at his villages just on the mini-map there. Farms getting thrown down by Liereyy?
That might have been a misclick.
Yeah, I'm guessing it is.
Guess. Yeah. But interestingly, milling the deer over there, just not even bothering with luring them as MbL was. But here we go. Villagers are wandering towards the middle of the map, and this is...
Yes! MbL playing this one like a tactical genius. Has already got his barracks down on the hump. He knows this is where the fighting is going to be, so getting that reinforcement time to him going to be such an advantage.
And of course, this is going to be further compounded by the fact that the infantry for the Celts are going to be moving that much faster, going to make things just that much easier. And yeah, this is why I was saying in the very beginning, I like the players who move out that much more quickly. 3 villagers going over to the gold for both players. Militia actually only being created here for Liereyy. Looks like MbL. No, okay, he is creating some militia.
All right. I don't feel
like,
so bad now.
What? But yeah, of course. we will be seeing both players end up going for the men-at-arm play. MbL just a little bit slower in doing so. Feudal Age times within 3 seconds of each other. They have the same idea. Though
This is so tight. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it. 21 villagers apiece. Already militia out in play. Liereyy is a little bit ahead in terms of production, but MbL has the barracks in a better position, so he's not going to be caught out there. Does start getting his walls up as well, because this is a cutthroat map. Once you're pushed off the hump, it's basically over.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's
Ooh.
why we do see games usually
He goes
end
for it.
in the late feudal, early Castle Age. And, well, villagers already coming forward here for our red player. Not quite up to the feudal age just yet. We do see the 4th militia coming out here from
Liereyy pulls.
And Lierey's pulling villagers. MbL's pulling villagers. Oh, man. But, of course,
Here comes the tower.
tower coming in right away here, but Liereyy was using that very, very important APM to get the men-at-arms upgrade 8 seconds faster.
That's the
Could
sacrifice we saw.
Yeah, that is literally a split-second decision both players made. Villager going down there for MbL. Oh man, the militia
This is
all
aggressive. This is what we
engaging.
love on this map. MbL,
Oh,
men
man.
at arms, not going to be so helpful now that pretty much everything is lost. Surprised he hasn't cancelled it, honestly, but it looks like he could potentially go for even more behind this. The tower comes up a little bit faster for MbL. But I guess that's the thing. He did decide to go tower, then research men at arms, whether as we had men at arms, then tower for Liereyy. That was the delay we saw.
Yeah, but it looks like it paid off for him. He was able to take a better engagement. I think he had more villagers fighting there when the fight actually happened. But this is the value of having that barracks right next to the fight. But unfortunately for MbL, that Eagle Scout is still alive. Villagers using their sticks, whacking away at the towers. This is Age of Empires, guys. This is villagers' best melee unit. More villagers being pulled here for Liereyy, trying to desperately repair this tower. But, of course, that will open them up to being sniped. Villager count now dead even. So is the kill-death ratio. Oh, man, this is just a total mess right now.
This is beautiful. This is a messy place we are used to on Seize the Hump. Look at this. Both players trying to keep those towers up because this is what gives them the advantage in this position. MbL creating even more men at arms. The barracks being so quick to reinforce here, but I don't know who's going to be able to hold this one. It's going to come down to whose tower goes down first, or even who runs out of stone first.
Whose tower reigns supreme? And, of course, MbL will run out of stone before Liereyy because his tower's more expensive to both build and repair. But I guess he's not had to do it as much. Oh man, this is so close. Kill-death ratio just 1 in favor of MbL. Villagers now ejected from the tower. This villager
And he
at 3
runs.
HP.
Oh,
She
there's
has been
one.
sniped. Oh man, this is so close. Kill-death ratio.
There's the tower. It's out of there. Liereyy has secured the gold pile, and MbL is running home scared.
Running for the Knot Hills, running for the Shallows, but yeah, now it's a few Mr. Pokey Pokes here. Eagle Scouts, do we see a second barracks at home? Nope, it's just been this one barracks here for Liereyy. Now building that a very critical archery range, as archers are just going to do so well against these villagers. And oh man, this is possibly more villagers from MbL being caught out. Honestly, this might, get closer and closer to GG. I mean, Liereyy might just be able to snowball this advantage. No military on the field right now for MbL. Back at his base, he's got nothing. Everything was super all in with this early feudal age play. No extra production facilities here for MbL, and even if they're fairly terrible spearmen, they're at least a unit, which is not a villager, not idling his economy, and this is going to be so rough.
That's the GG. The game is over. I'm sure everyone else that was watching at home did notice. As soon as Liereyy took the hill there was a smirk across his face. He knew the game was over at that stage. The tower went down. The villagers were pushed away. He had control of all the resources on the map. And those spearmen that just trickled in, it's like hitting a villager with a wet noodle, but like OrnLu was saying, that's a unit that's doing damage, and end of the day, when your villager's on 1 HP like that, it can still take it.
Oh yeah, I mean, man, that is a lot of a game that happened very quickly right there, and it just came down to that very specific engagements where those players chose to allocate their APM.
Oh man, that is fantastic. And we've evened this one up to a 1-all. One for Liereyy taking Seize the Hump. We do have MbL taking the first map, Arabia. This moves us on to MbL's choice of map, Gold Rush.
Gold Rush for MbL. Certainly a map I think that he can thrive on. Definitely can be pretty defensive in the early to mid game, and then kind of push out with your one big push across the map that we see so often from MbL. Now, let me see if the crosses can work for once.
Here we go.
Whoop. You are not my card. No.
Professional level stream
Oh no, this one
setup,
was right.
guys.
This one was right.
Oh, bang on. There we go.
And then we just have Celts. Oh man, I can't do it with the green cross there. Oh man.
Man, that was just so brutal.
Oh,
I
no,
love map
oh,
plays
no.
like that. The giant cross makes its appearance.
Go right there.
Knockouts.
No. Fail.
Oh man, this is great. 1-1. I'm really hoping this does go to a 5-game series because I just think we deserve to see these games. These players have been absolutely ruthless. You saw how they went at each other's throats. Everyone else got to see that. You saw the smirk on Lierey's face. This is for pride. Not just the victory, not just the catch. One of them wants to be able to go, no, we had this.
Oh, yeah, especially with all of the smack talk in the last set when those two were casting.
Oh, it makes it so much more beautiful.
It really, really does. You're going to have a fun interview on the couch after this.
I can't wait. This is fantastic. And let's have a look. What civs do you think we're going to get? We're waiting for him to launch into the game. We do have Gold Rush on its way. What are you thinking?
Well, Incas, of course, were used already, so this is going to be pretty interesting. I think that MbL, well, Spanish is almost certainly going to be for Regicide Fortress. Maybe Slavs here would be my guess, as Indians probably for Coast to Mountain, though it might be reversed. And for Liereyy, maybe this is where you bust out the Huns?
Bust out the Huns?
Maybe.
Bust out the Huns.
Yeah. As a wise man once said, Huns are Huns, man.
Huns are Huns, and we've heard that so many times in the break room today. So let's have a look. We've got the game starting up. Hopefully it should just be 1 second, and we are into Gold Rush. The scores are tied up at 1-1. Liereyy and MbL, of course, teammates. They casted the last game together. There is a lot of pride on the line here, the way they were talking to each other last game. So let's jump into it and see what we've got.
Doing our best to not knock over any glasses in the process. Let's see if we can get into the game.
All right, let's have a look at what we've got here. We do have Liereyy in the blue playing as the Vikings, and MbL in the red as the Slavs.
Indeed, we are seeing Liereyy opt for the Vikings pick. I wasn't sure if he'd try to use Vikings on Coast to Mountain, because it's kind of a hybrid-y water map, but I guess going to be saving Huns for that, because you do have the wood discount there. Makes sense to me. And again, Vikings, certainly a civilization that can really benefit from a Drush Fast Castle opening. And yeah, it's going to be, of course, blue player here to the east of the map, Liereyy, winning the last game, tying things up, and MbL in the red as the Slavs to the west.
I'm just having a look at the minimap right now, and it looks like MbL's actually got a secondary gold pile closer to his town center, whereas Lierey's going to have a little bit more trouble to that. So what have we got? Kind of towards the north there of MbL, we'll spy a little pile up towards the top, then towards the east of his town center as well, whereas Lierey's just going to have that singular pile towards the east, but there we go, just towards the front there, hidden by the desert on the western side. We'll have one, but still getting closer to the front.
Yeah, certainly both players, again, going to be pretty open. With Gold Rush, you can sometimes have one player who has the gold much closer than the other. I'd say it's fairly even, maybe a little bit better here for Liereyy, but shouldn't be too big of a difference. And when it comes to wall ability, a little bit open at the front, but I think Liereyy should be able to manage it. And then for MbL, again, so long as you're able to wall the front and make sure you close the hole over here, think he should be fine. Of course, he will have to deal with the gold being in the front. Maybe that's going to be exploited, but in my opinion, I think we'll probably see, lukewarm aggression in the early game and focus on the castle age.
Lukewarm, yeah, it'll be fine for TaToH. But I agree entirely. This map's probably one of the most even we've seen for this. No one's got kind of a distinct walling advantage. No one's got a goal advantage. But the one thing I would like to point out is MbL's already in the center of the map with his scout by the looks of things. What's he up to? And there we go, the steal.
This is what I get for trying to, think and explain the maps and the civs, and then MbL's just busy doing MbL things.
But that's what I'm here for, my friend.
Yeah.
We are a team in this one, and I'm going to notice the ball steal. He takes it back across the map, and this is fantastic. It's going to put him in such a good advantage from the early game, and this is the MbL we know and love, and to see this in tournament game, there's the re.
Exactly 4 minutes. Liereyy not having any of that, really wanting to do his best to invalidate all of the map discussion we were just going through. But whatever. Excellent play there from MbL. Lierey's map, it wasn't the best, it wasn't the worst, but being able to force out that re right there, gonna be nice, because if Liereyy has a bad map later in the series, there ain't nothing he can do to stop it.
Man, you could even see on Lierey's face, he was having a little bit of laugh there as well. He knew exactly what was going on. And I guess now he knows, even now I've got the trash talk as well. This is fantastic. But both players know it is now Blame On. There is no gentleman's agreement between them. They are the same team, but they are out for blood.
tell them to go when Reds.
When Reds, that German keyboard gonna get to you.
Oh, yeah.
The keyboard.
Kizboard.
Keyboard.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right, so we did have a pretty good start there from both players, really even in terms of the map, but it's called the Re. So for those unfamiliar with the settings and how this tournament is running overall, each player gets 1 restart during their series. So that's Liereyy down. If something goes really badly from him now, a horrible map, as long as it's not bugged, he has to live with it.
Indeed, he does. Hopefully getting into this game here without it crashing or anything like that. Okay, looks like we're good, so I can adjust the sound volume, and Turk, take it away.
Absolutely. Looking over towards the game, we've got Liereyy in the blue playing as the Vikings, MbL as the Slavs. It is a race of the same civs will be used here, but I'm really hoping that Lierey's already on it and he's moving his scout out to try and get that lane because he's moved quite far away from the town center, and if we get some revenge straight off the bat, that will be beautiful.
Oh, certainly. Looks like they're just going to be trying to find their starting sheep and such at this point. Though, of course, we really do have to keep an eye out for any scouts wandering across the map, as losing a boar can be especially inhibitive if you're going for a fast castle. Might, delay that quite a bit, but we'll have to see how that plays out. Looking at the map here for Liereyy, I'd say it's actually a bit worse than his previous map.
Absolutely.
So that just really, accentuates the fact that MbL was able to go for, forcing his opponent to restart right there, because this is honestly like a whole 90 degrees more of map that you need to wall.
And looking over towards MbL, he does even have the wood line there towards the front, so he's got a couple of options when it comes down to his walling pattern, which, as MbL and Liereyy were discussing last map, very, very important.
Yeah, certainly. In this boar, I'm just looking at this boar.
I can see MbL scout already.
Yeah.
Go like one screen right.
Oh, yeah.
There he is.
I was looking at the minimap.
But look where Liereyy is.
Ooh, are they going to pass like 2 scouts in the night? Indeed. Oh, maybe.
Oh, no, MbL's AoE sensors are tingling.
His laming senses, man. Oh,
There we go, he sees
they
it.
found each other, and they weren't paying attention. They just walked right past each other, man. Oh, man.
MbL's getting his first boar in already. Not going to leave any time for that one.
Oh, yeah, and of course we can take this opportunity to look at our red player's map, and this is a very conveniently placed wood line in the front of his base. It's going to be a little bit weird to wall. Probably should wall to the top of the hill right there, just so we can, not have that problem as the game goes on. But beyond that, I guess walling over this way and this way, it's a little weird, but, he can make it work. Big thing potentially being a problem is the stone that is, I think, a little bit exposed here for him.
I really like this play from MbL. I am a solid belief that he did manage to actually see that scout on the way back, which is the reason he decided to basically U-turn it back, watch over his own boar at home, make sure it can't be stolen, and just basically make sure he can't be lamed there. We also saw some absolute brutality in the first games with DauT versus Viper, where we saw exactly what some laming on a villager can do, and MbL's not about that. He's not going to let it happen.
Not today. I mean, this is a man who knows his way around the boar steal. So obviously going to be pretty experienced in those crazy sorts of situations. Even if he doesn't do it in tournaments as often these days, it's, the idea still sticks with you. And we can see walling off his map very early once again. Looks like he found all of his sheep over here. And yeah, definitely we're going to be seeing MbL once again with the more passive sort of play, much like we saw in game number 1. Game number 2, it's just kind of a weird, crazy map. You can't really...
You can't play that defensively.
Yeah.
You try and play that defensively, and it is game over. But MbL, this is a very early wall off from him, and Liereyy nearly having a little bit of trouble there with that boar. Manages to garrison just in time, but gets the wall up on the front here. Should have it coming up on the eastern side, just between the edge of the map and the lumber there as well. So really not going to make things easy for Liereyy here to move in, get any damage he can.
Oh yeah, certainly. More and more walling coming in from MbL. Like, he is very, very much prioritizing the walling over everything else. Both scouts currently at 30 HP. Much like Obi-Wan, we do see MbL with the high ground right here, able to get that slightly better hit, but Liereyy maybe with a few more hits overall, doing the little ladder up. But this villager, she is interrupting the very honorable scout duel.
And that one hit makes all the difference.
Does it?
Low ground! Low ground!
You should have listened to Obi-Wan and both scouts, man.
They're both out of there. And this is going
Oh,
to deny
man.
all the scouting information for both players now. They're not going to know what each other's into. We're going to be relying on game sense here, which MbL has proved is really good. Liereyy has proved is really good. So I don't think this is going to prohibit them, or inhibit them too much, I should say.
It certainly won't. Also, notably there, it looks like that craziness of a fight did inhibit MbL's villager production a little bit. Around half a villager behind Liereyy. It might not be the biggest of deals, but it's certainly worth noting that he'll likely be up a little bit later in whatever strategy he chooses to go for. Don't see anybody clicking up just yet. MbL grabbing Loom right now that might be indicating, okay, I'd like to click up a little late, honestly, for what would be 22 pop. But maybe going to be going for the scouts into fast castle as Slavs.
Let's jump over and have a look at the Fog of War as well, because I would like to see how much scouting has been done. Do they know where the bulk of the resources are in the center of the map? Do they know anything? MbL has not even found Liereyy yet. Obviously, it's easy to kind of assume he's going to be on that opposite side, but can slow him down a little bit when it comes to moving out with any kind of harassment if he wants to go for it.
Yeah, I don't know what else you would expect. I mean, this is a lot of scouting for MbL, honestly. I mean, this is not a guy who wants to get that 100% in the achievements tab with the scouting percentage. Yeah, we're going to, of course, be seeing him first up to the feudal age, though. Again, likely going for a few scouts just to take map control, just to keep his opponent honest. Whereas
I like it.
Liereyy almost certainly going for the fast castle. 3 farms already, still not clicked up yet.
Oh man, it makes such a difference in the long run, and probably the big thing we're going to see on a map like this as well. Pretty much all the gold is towards the center. Map control is worth basically the entire map here. We've learnt game after game in Age of Empires that gold is just absolute king when it comes to getting units out. Trash cannot fight a full gold army, and if it can, it means the players probably aren't of the caliber we're seeing right now.
Well, yeah, because that would be like my games, and I'm definitely not as good as these guys. But yeah, of course, we do see Liereyy clicking up 26 villagers, almost certainly going to be for that fast castle, like we said. Barracks already done for MbL, likely going to be throwing down a stable here. Can, of course, comfortably take these deer as well, just a nice little extra bit of food. Already going to be getting that Slav farming economy going in. And I think this is a good time to talk about the Civ matchup, as both players are just going to be trying to get to the castle age. And do you think that who's going to have the better boom here, Vikings or Slavs?
Oh, look. That's actually a really hard question. I wasn't ready for that one. Look, Slavs, obviously, the farms they're going to get out of it's going to be absolutely amazing. That's how we see them run. But Vikings, the free wheelbarrow, every villager is worth so much more. So I'm going to say it's going to come down to who gets to Castle Age first and what kind of approach we see both players take. Obviously, if Liereyy gets in, gets the villager count kind of running as early as possible, he's going to have a huge advantage. Whereas if MbL can delay him, that bonus from the Slav kicks in so much quicker.
Oh, yeah, certainly. Of course, we already have the farms up and running right now. I mean, to think about it, Lierey's eco bonus isn't even happening yet because he's not in the feudal age. So, of course, you know, it is something to consider right there. But I think, of course, it's going to come down to the crossbow play with some assortment of siege and monks from the Viking player, and conversely, the knight with, again, some assortment of siege and monks from the Slav player, which is going to be better in taking map control here. Of course, it's all going to come down to micro, and to no surprise...
Is Liereyy open towards the south there?
No.
No. Oh, no. That looked really desperate on the mini-map, actually.
Yeah.
But scouts moving across the map now for MbL. Looks like they won't be able to find an opening here. We do have the military buildings finally getting thrown down for Liereyy, so the barracks on its way. Blacksmith as well, so it looks like we could be potentially seeing a little bit more of a, I wouldn't want to say like economy-based build, but he's going for all his researchers early on.
Yeah, certainly. Of course, checking the resource counts for MbL, nowhere near Castle Age, like we were talking about.
There we go.
Meanwhile, Liereyy, he is, not beating around the bush. He is going right to the Castle Age. And of course, if he gets to the Castle Age well ahead of MbL, that is going to be so nice, both in terms of his economy and securing that all-important map control, which, as we can see with this, huge pile of gold in the middle of the map, is what this map is all about.
Man, the Viking economy now, he's delayed himself pretty minor in this one. He's gone for a very fast castle timing. Plans on being in castle 16-13 now, and there shouldn't be anything that can stop him. And basically, with the free wheelbarrow, everything's going to kick in. And if he does decide to go for a boom behind this, MbL might be caught off guard.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, the crossbowman is going to be really important for taking that map control. But, the gold in the back is super safe for Liereyy. And he has a bit of room with which to work, but not really having too many resources in the back. Does have to go out to gather even his secondary gold and even his main stone and secondary stone. But yeah, it's all, of course, going to be about that middle of the map. How much later are we going to be seeing MbL click up? Because he's going to be stuck in his base pretty much until he gets up to the castle age, because, I mean, even just a few crossbowmen are going to be able to, you know, kill these scouts without any problem.
That's it. The Castle Age army is just so strong. We've learnt that time after time again. Whoever does get to Castle Age first, if they do have some kind of army out in play, it makes a huge difference. And the amount of map control you can take with it is just absolutely astonishing. We do have the second range coming down from Liereyy now as well. MbL going for Wheelbarrow, and then probably looking at getting up to the next stage. I have no doubt he knows what's on from Liereyy. The game sense we've seen from him thus far has been just great, so he should know exactly what's going on.
Oh yeah, both players, honestly, with fantastic game sense so far. Liereyy, though, hitting the castle age, getting that free hand cart, though, of course, going to be a bit slower in getting the econ upgrades. You know, it's all give and take. Of course, MbL has a few more villagers right now, but of course, it's all going to be about, okay, what is Liereyy going to do with this faster castle age? Is he going to be getting the map control? Actually, 9 military right now for MbL.
That's a lot of scouts.
I actually didn't realize that's a
lot of scouts.
That's a lot of scouts right there.
We were saying crossbows will deal with the scouts, but in these kind of numbers,
with
bloodline,
these
scale
upgrades
barding, he's committing. He's
Yeah.
very much committing.
You know, I was just thinking, okay, you know, standard stuff. MbL is just going to try and click to the castle age, defend from, you know, whatever crossbowmen. Easy life. No, let's just make a bajillion scouts and look
Here
at
we
Liereyy.
go.
Liereyy has no idea. He only has a fletching on these crossbowmen, and with +1 armor now coming in and bloodlines in just a second, these crossbowmen are so caught out in the open. I mean, of course, this map, there's no cover in the middle whatsoever unless you somehow work with the gold, but that's not usually too big of a deal, and there is all of the momentum taken out of Lierey's sails.
Woo! Liereyy going, let's go up to castle, crossbows out into play, take some map control. Liereyy just goes, oh no, whacks out the 10 scouts with bloodlines, with the armor upgrades, and tries to deny everything. Luckily, Liereyy puts down the town center out the front, gets the palisades up around it with the quick walls. Nothing's going to be hurting him here, but MbL, smirk on his face there. We saw that one. He knows he has map control now.
He does, but he is still yet to click up to the castle age. Second TC going to be coming down for Liereyy. That's a lot of scouts that, to be fair, aren't really doing anything right now other than just putting a bit of pressure on his opponent. We should expect to see Liereyy jump ahead in the villager count, just completing the second TC right now. And if I switch back over to his POV, actually he's missing 5 stone for the third, so he's going to have to like gather 5 stone weird, kind of awkwardly because he did invest in the outpost over here. So that's a little bit awkward, but probably third TC is going to be coming down in the middle of the map because eventually, once he does amass enough crossbowmen, we'll probably try and make that big concerted push for the middle.
Liereyy not even too worried, hasn't even gone for any pikes, hasn't gone for a spear, so he's not worried about the scout count here. And like you've said, this is a lot of scouts. It was great for taking map control, but look at this now. What are they going to be able to achieve?
Nothing right now. Another kill there for our...
Would he get the... Ooh, no, Lierey's not going to fall for that one.
What do you think of the Siege Workshop right here? I mean, you're seeing a bunch of scouts. I mean, do you want to make some mangonels to just...
Deal with the scouts?
It seems like a rather strange choice. I mean, you don't really want to make monks against them either, but maybe add a few spearmen or something?
Yeah, look, it is very, very Liereyy to go for a siege and spear push. That's his bread and butter. This is how he likes to play this game. But we haven't seen any spears at all at the moment. I mean, so the crossbows to maybe deal with the scouts, then some good mangonel hits might end it, but not exactly what we're looking for here.
Yeah, I mean, incidentally for Liereyy, it's going to work out because we do see a pretty heavy skirmisher switch from MbL, much like in game number 1. much like in game number 1, but he had absolutely no idea that those skirmishers were coming, at least in game that we are able to, you know, quantifiably, you know, observe. Of course, MbL now hitting Castle Age, instantly grabbing eco upgrades, even heavy plow, and of course, elite skirmisher Bodkin. He does not want to deal with Lierey's crossbowmen.
Oh man, and we know how deadly they are, and he has shown it game after game. He doesn't make things easy. He will get every single kill he can with those crossbows, and if he's going to lose them, he'll take as much as he can with them. Looks like MbL's getting ready to go for a little bit of a push here, or just a little bit of a poke, a little bit of a prod, try and find out exactly what Lierey's plan is, but going to potentially deny the outpost there, and that is a quick wall and a half.
Yeah, because, you know, there's that extra tile of palisade right there. So, yeah, quick wall and half. Just kidding. But, yeah, of course, skirmishers will, of course, cheat the quick walls, throw their javelins over, and kill that one villager. But we are still seeing a 9-villager advantage for Liereyy right now. That is, of course, the advantage of that much faster castle age, much less emphasis on the army, especially in the food department. But yeah, of course, already spread formation on these skirmishers. Going to be a little bit tricky, I think, for Liereyy to actually secure a good position here.
Whoop. Oh, he's out of there just in time. The light cavalry upgrade as well. Had a lot of scouts out in play, so it was definitely a worthwhile upgrade. And then looking at this one, potentially tried to pop the mangonel there, tried to get the kill, but just didn't work out. Looks like MbL was getting a little bit game there as well. Wanted to go in with the singular light cav, get the kill. Your sacrifice would not be in vain.
No, it wouldn't. Also could have just accidentally aggroed onto the mangonel because it has a long line of sight.
That's possible.
But of
Very
course,
possible.
got to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Always.
Plus two armor coming in here for the cavalry. That makes a massive difference against the crossbowmen. Second mangonel out here for Mr. Liereyy. Both players almost identical army size, though a much better economy here for Liereyy. And it's going to be, can he make this all-important push to the middle of the map? Also getting +1 defense for some knights. And
This is interesting.
Are we going to see the fight?
Here comes the engagement. Looks like MbL is pushing. Has to be careful because he doesn't want to take any of that unnecessary town center fire. But it looks like he's just sacrificing to get the mangonels now, getting as many kills on top of the crossbows as he can. Knight's doing a good job. Does have the extra armor compared to Liereyy. Liereyy just about got thumb ring though. Wants to delay the fight until at least he can get that going. But look at this. The knights just begin to clean up those skirmishes, and MbL is forced out of the engagement.
Well, he should be forced out of the
Should be!
Oh man, skirmishers are going to be dying a little bit on the retreat. But, I mean, MbL, he's keeping on flooding. You can see the, little red dots moving across the map. Military count, again, almost dead even. Forward siege workshop here from MbL.
This is such a commitment.
This is a very heavy commitment. Back at home real quick. Do we see extra TCs from MbL? No, we do not. He wants to go 1 TC all in right now. Was able to snipe that mangonel right there. And yeah, Liereyy just has to claim this hill, and pretty much if he claims this hill, he wins the game. But that's going to be a tricky task. Of course, going to be microwing his heart out right there with thumb ring, able to shoot that much faster. Oh man, this is so close, Turk.
I think probably the thing I'm kind of focused on here the most is what we saw in game number 1, except a little bit reversed. Liereyy does have the extra town center down, or I'm assuming so, just because of the 62 villages, and then compared to the 48 of MbL, so it does have the extra one at the front. MbL looks like he is going for that 1 town center power play, so the longer this match goes at this stage, the more it's going to snowball in control of Liereyy. If he gets more and more villages out, he's going to be able to repop, he's going to be able to take those engagements and just slowly whittle away at MbL.
Yeah, of course. And
oh, here we go. Is this gonna? Oh.
Why would I ever doubt Lierey's micro? This dude is so good at that. Now with ballistics coming in, that's going to make this task even harder. But again, what's keeping MbL in this this push, in my opinion, is the fact that he has the high ground. He has this hill. Yes, it's going to be really tricky to push into the TC and all of those crossbows with the siege workshop potentially, jumping out with the mangonel at a really inopportune time. But yeah, of course, it's all going to come down to eventually. Maybe MbL's plan is, okay, he's eventually going to run out of gold, right?
That's it. Starve him to death in time. I think he's pretty much out looking at his base. He does have the town center on the front there, so he can defend that one a little bit easier. It will be obviously higher losses for MbL, but with the Knights, look, Knights can soak up that town center damage, and they don't even care.
That's true, but the mangonels are all dead, and that is a lot of crossbowmen right there. Of course, villagers all able to jump into the TC. That is 10 arrows right there, effectively, 10 extra crossbowmen right there. And oh man, this military is now going to be getting in favor of Liereyy. Looks like the military count of MbL is really starting to plummet. That is still so many crossbowmen and just enough knights apparently to be that buffer. Oh man, is this the end of MbL in this game?
Look, we've got units still streaming across the map, but like you said, if MbL does lose the high ground here on the hill, it just becomes more and more of an issue because Liereyy has the gold that he so wants. He's got the villager lead. He's got the area he's under control where all the resources are going to be. Have we seen MbL make a play for the middle here at all? Is there a town center in play? Just some houses and a siege workshop.
He's making another TC right now, but obviously that is just his second TC right now, around 20 villagers behind. And now you can see the villagers coming forward here from Liereyy. He has no stone in the bank, so I guess it's just going to be for a mining camp, or I guess you can buy some. There we go.
Town center.
There's the TC. And of course, that is going to be the map control that Liereyy wants. Over 30 population ahead right now. He is definitely in the driver's seat. TC now attempted here from MbL, but he's just going to be so much slower than his opponent with such less army. It's going to be pretty tricky here for MbL.
The game isn't over, but MbL is definitely hanging by a thread. He doesn't have a lot of resource left at home. His main gold pile's outside his initial wall off. He's got a town center up on it, but those crossbows, we know the range they have. They can deal with those villagers so effectively. Town center in the middle of the map here, going to be taken out eventually. MbL, I don't know if he's going to be able to hold on to it. Those crossbows are just doing some nasty work, and in the hands of someone like Liereyy, you know they're going to go down for everything they're worth.
Of course, +2 defense even coming in for Liereyy with the Knights. Yes, Viking Knights are pretty terrible, but you need something of a meat shield for the crossbowmen, especially to deal with the skirmishers efficiently, and indeed that is the case. It might have been even a little bit missing in the first game, so that might have been a nice adaptation there from Liereyy. And here is potentially the big last fight. MbL not actually dying.
Oh, that's a lot of sacrifice to make sure that MbL goes down. The first wave didn't get it. The second wave will, but those crossbows, look at that stutter step. They're getting out of there before too much damage is done, taking every unit they can with them, and Liereyy just proving why he's so good at this game. MbL's had a phenomenal play here as well, but Lierey's just coming out on top. He's read the game, he's read the situation fantastically, and his population advantage at the moment is going to be what's going to give him that edge.
Yeah, certainly, and again, not to beat a dead horse, but it all comes down to the eco. Also, notably, Liereyy has fantastic production. He's got, what, 4 archer ranges, 2 stables, huge workshop. He's got the ability to replace his fallen units quite efficiently. We see that now just coming in for MbL. Yes, he has Slav farms, but it's still going to be pretty tricky to get that economy up to snuff. Stone now being taken for our red player. Of course, a castle is going to be pretty decisive if you can get one up, but that is still quite a ways away, and I do not think that Liereyy is going to give him the time for that.
Liereyy is not about giving his opponent anything. He does not let the game slip. And looking at the village account, 94 to 72, you can see that snowball effect that Lierey's managed to have. Even though it was one town center extra he had, as far as it goes, it made a huge difference across the entire game here. He's just in such a better position when he wants to repop his army. Look at that. That's a good hit on the skirmishers.
You can say that again, and look at that, of course. Beautiful positioning there from the crossbow, minimizing the surface area from which the Knights can attack.
Minimum.
Even having to delete the house right there. And oh man, we just see the army of MbL totally collapse. And this has to be the GG right here if MbL wasn't an incredibly stubborn person. But yeah, I mean, yes, he does have all of this production right here. He does even have the siege workshop, but man, is he in just a really rough spot to defend this. And yeah, he is literally hanging on by a thread in this game.
You know what they say, the game is not truly over until the man MbL decides to give up. He will sit in there for as long as he can if he thinks there's a chance. So this is looking really, really good for Liereyy. MbL not thinking he's out entirely, but it looks like he's gathering his troops up. He's good for one more push.
I mean, to be fair, that is a lot of stables to produce Knights. I think it's pretty clear that it's Castle Age all in here from MbL, finally getting this TC established and using the market maybe just for more Knight production. But again, the hill now going to be in favor of Liereyy. He was fighting uphill for a good half of this game. Finally has that advantage, has easy control of all of this gold, tons of production, and it is just going to be this one last push here for MbL.
As a very famous man once said, I have to break free, and that's exactly what Lierey's done here. Turn the game around completely. The Knights acting as a great bulk, but his mangonels are overextending, but Liereyy has clicked Imperial. This could be the nail in the coffin that we're waiting for.
Oh yeah, certainly. Yes, I guess Lierey's pulling back a little bit because this house must die. Must destroy the house. This might give MbL the high ground. Of course,
it's even play.
Yeah, the crossbowmen are shooting uphill here. You have to remember, guys, but of course the numbers are so heavily in favor of Liereyy that it might not make a difference. This is super necessary for MbL to win, as he is not on the way to the Imperial Age. But just look at all of these crossbowmen, man.
Look at the carcasses.
Oh man, so many dead Knights here for MbL. Trying to run away with whatever few skirmishers he has left, but he is just investing so much into so many expensive units, and these crossbowmen, like, Lierey's doing such a good job of retaining them, and it's just, the numbers just keep on growing steadily and steadily throughout the course of this game.
He's using the Knights as just such a good bulk in front there. Liereyy, man, there's no siege impacting him here. MbL's just throwing units into the gauntlet, and Lierey's keeping everything alive. Once the crossbows are in such mass as this, it makes things just ridiculous to deal with. Some Rams moving forward. Looks like he is going to try and take the center back here, but those Rams need some backup.
They need a lot of backup, and that is nowhere near enough skirms to deal with all of these crossbowmen. Oh man, just having that many crossbowmen in the hands of Liereyy is quite a thing of beauty. Imp around 15 seconds from completion. There are, or I guess there is still one ram left, but it is going to be pretty much the only decent chance of removing this TC for MbL, down around 40 population. Oh man, this is really at the end.
MbL is still playing for it. Any advantage he thinks he can get here before he wants to give up. There's the Imperial. Have we seen the GG yet? No, MbL still thinks there's a chance. The ram is down. The town center's still up. Gate coming up because why not? Because that's how we play Age of Empires. And Knights moving around the side.
Oh man, so you're saying that there's still a chance?
There's
says MbL.
still a chance.
Oh man, but
As slim as it may be.
oh man, maybe Liereyy will just, fall asleep on the keyboard as it is probably past his bedtime. But yeah, obviously, Arbalest coming in here, Bracer, even the switch into Light Cav for potential raiding, as well as picking off skirmishers and random siege weapons. But yeah,
There's Arbalest. That's
Yeah.
going to be so hard to deal with. He's got Bracer behind that as well. Chemistry coming in, like you already have mentioned. Light Cav for raiding. And is that a castle on the hill there? That's a castle on the hill.
that is what I like to call a get out my game castle. As with this castle coming up, there will be absolutely no gold control here for MbL. Going to attempt to throw down the watchtower here, but
The defensive watchtower
there's like
versus the castle.
There's like 20 villagers building this castle. This is like the not DauT castle. This is a castle that goes up every time, and of course that is going to be the GG.
The GG.
Liereyy with-
Liereyy. Oh man, throwing some trash across the room as well, looking very happy with himself, and he earned this game. MbL stuck in here to the nail. He wasn't going to give it up for no reason, but that of course pulls us to 2-1 in this series. Game number 3 does go to Liereyy, taking 2 in the advantageous position here in a row. Hopefully it's not affecting MbL too much in terms of his mindset, but as we know from MbL, he will play 6 hours in a time. He will push through anything, so if there's a man that can bring it back, it's him.
Oh, certainly. And what is our next map? Because I don't remember. It is RF. Ooh, this could be quite an epic one.
I like it. This is going to be a super late game play, and ooh, I'm keen. I'm keen. If there's a map to end a series on, it's this. If there's a map that someone can take it back on, MbL, this is the map he chose. He chose it for a reason.
Indeed, he did. If only I chose the right X's for a reason. That's the dream right there.
The Dream X.
The Dream X that isn't a thing. Oh man, you're gonna go over here. Felix is going to have fun trying to reorganize these.
I blame the people before us.
Oh yeah, definitely. What? What the heck? Where? Why is this X invisible? Even if it's visible. I don't even know, man.
Find another one. It'll be
Yeah.
absolutely fine. But we've got 2 civs left, 2 maps left as well. Regicide Fortress, MbL's map of choice, and then we do have Liereyy Coast to Mountain. Civs remaining at this point is going to be the Huns and Mongols for Liereyy. We do have the Indians and Spanish for MbL.
Spanish not used yet.
Spanish not used despite the X. The X is now gone, but we are at 2-1. Liereyy in an advantageous position. If he wins this one, the series is over, and he remains the only undefeated man at Nili's Apartment Cup 2.
Indeed, that is the case. But MbL, this is definitely a very sort of defensive-oriented map, and yeah, I think this is MbL's best chance to take it. Of course, Spanish is going to be an incredibly strong pick on this map. Is it going to be the Huns or Mongols? Almost. Well, I mean,
this
Mongols
is-
are good on Coast to Mountain.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, Mongols are a very strong civ, especially when it comes down to Imp. We know how good their compositions are, but Coast to Mountain, will Liereyy play it a little bit more safe, just because he knows he has a game in the bag here, so he doesn't have to worry about putting everything into it and maybe try Huns and kind of go, well, if it comes down to it, I've given myself the best chance on Coast to Mountain.
Well, we'll have to see what they opt for as we get into the game here. Hopefully. Yeah.
We have a game. We've got Liereyy in the blue playing as the Huns towards the western side of the map, and hopefully towards the eastern. We've got MbL playing in the red as the Indians.
Nice guess there.
Nice guess. Generally going to be directly opposite.
Yeah, sometimes you have the weird close spawns, but you got there, man. And we will have Indians versus Huns. What a match this is. Is this the Civ win for MbL? Some people think this matchup is a Civ win. Some people do not. We'll have to see how this one plays out. Of course, a really important factor here is that Huns do have Halberdier, and Halberdiers are real good against camels.
Real good.
Real good. But, of course, Indian Camel's going to be able to destroy all of that Hunnic cavalry, no problem. We are seeing the scout take the boar because you can just use the king to scout, as we are seeing here. As long as you're not back T, you're not going to be losing that guy.
Ooh, that's a reference to a game that just hurt everyone's soul.
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
the thing behind this as well, we have a lot of people questioning the choice of Huns here, and I think it does come down to what we were talking about before. Liereyy is a game up in this series. Like, he doesn't want to lose one, but he can afford it, and that's probably the thing we're going to run into here. He wanted to save that stronger civ for the last matchup, so if he does come into an issue, does need that one there, he's got the option for it and can hopefully drive that one home.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to see the gold here, though, as these maps are very important. Gold here, so both golds, secondary golds, that is, right at the south of the base of Liereyy. So it's a matter of, okay, this is fairly easy to defend, but of course all of your eggs are sort of in this one basket over here, but I think with the castle here to sort of watch over everything, I think he should be good. Wood lines are a little bit trickier, though. He does have this pretty comfortable wood over here. I guess with deleting these walls over here, you can still delete all these walls and still have a full wall thanks to this little guy. So, you know, TC potentially could go here or here. So I think overall this map is pretty solid for Liereyy. Unfortunately for him, the okay, he's good.
Ooh, that was close.
That was real.
That's tight.
That was real close. I was gonna say, unfortunately for him, tower's not in the front of his base. But how do you think this compares to the map of MbL?
Looking round, he isn't sadly to the edge, so he is going to have a little bit more trouble when it does come down to the wall-off. Look, it's not going to be too bad, because judging towards the north side there, he does have a small forest towards the edge of his, I guess, wall-off there. Can just stick one in there, and then he's gained that entire corner of the map to work back into. Extra gold in the corner there, nice gold in the back of his base. The wood lines towards the front, look, it could definitely be worse. We could find way worse surface area. The berries, again, bad surface area, but how many villages are you honestly going to have on top of those berries? Probably the thing I want to know the most in the middle of the map here, where are we looking at with the hills? Where can we drop some good castles to just put yourself in a good position for a good solid push?
I'm looking at castle here from MbL. This would be pretty devastating for being a launching pad right into the base of Liereyy. But beyond that, a decent bit of hills here in the south of MbL's base. But honestly, the middle of the map is pretty flat and open.
And looks like we will have the strategic king bump into each other, say hello on the way past, as we know, just passing. But
is that legal? I mean, kings aren't allowed to be too close to each other, right? Maybe within 1 square of each other.
All right, and I guess the relics is the other thing we really need to look into here. And look, I would say MbL has got a slight advantage here. 3 definitely much closer towards his town center, or his fortress anyway, than we do have Liereyy. So late game could come into it, but that's an early uptime for both players now, hitting in at just over 6 minutes.
Yeah, usually we expect most players to go up maybe a villager or 2 later. Of course, both of these civs are working with really solid economy advantages, but, I mean, it's RF, guys. They're going to be going for a fast castle. Unfortunately, no 10-minute arm feudal age masterpiece happening today. But yeah, market, blacksmith.
Ooh, alright, and we're going to see that standard fast castle build. And look, on a map like this, I don't think we're going to see any kind of early castle aggression. Maybe a couple of just units to take the map control, make sure you can get as many relics as you can, but it's going to be about building that eco, getting those town centers down, taking a little bit of map control, and just putting yourself in a good position.
Yeah, I wonder if MbL is going to go for the relics, because, man, are those really convenient to his base. Of course, he will be our first player to click up to the Castle Age, but I think really the onus is going to be on Liereyy. What do you do to deal with the Indian camels? We do see 2 villagers gathering stone. This, of course, indicates that he is going to want to go for the triple TC play. So Liereyy thinks that he can take this one long as Huns versus Indians.
Look, I'm feeling the Liereyy special, you know, the #1 on the resume, the #1 on top of what we're going to see here. And that's just going to be the classic Halb, the classic siege ram, and make a siege Halb push.
Yeah, of course. Like I said in the very beginning, Halbs can be a bit of a problem for Indians. Yes, they do have those hand cannoneers with Shtagni to give them that extra +1 range, but that is a pretty awkward tech switch if you're going for camels initially. So we'll have to see how that plays out. What is MbL doing? If I go and check his resources, 160 stone right now, only with the 1 villager, but I would have to imagine that it's going to be for a boom as well. Maybe a quicker monastery, but we'll have to see.
Alright, and what else have we got going down? Apart from this at the moment, we're just waiting for that boom, see who gets themselves into the best place, but we're not really going to be able to see too much until later now. The matchup we've pretty much gone through quite well. I don't think we're going to see anything too out of the box. MbL is pretty much just playing to stay in the tournament, but both players on the way up to Castle Age. MbL a slight advantage at 955 compared to Liereyy at 10. This is just to the nail. We've got 22 villages apiece, 2 military as to be expected, and man, there's just not much else going on. It's just these players know their build order. They've been playing against each other for that long. They know what to expect. So let's see who has a better game sense, who can really read the matchup.
Of course, this is about as classic a map as you can get. And whoa, instantly
Ooh.
monastery.
I like it.
Begs the question, why gathered that stone with 2 villagers? He will be getting another TC, I think. Well, okay, there's the TC.
There we go.
In. But yeah, it's weird that he's going for the monastery right away when he gathered all that stone quickly, but it'll be okay. Meanwhile, MbL Monastery instantly
Ooh.
as well, and I really like this from him. I mean, these relics are so convenient, man. They're
That's
just,
it.
It's just going to be pretty nice. Kings now retreating back to their castles because they are cowards, of course, not wanting to fight. But yeah, I do think both players are going to be trying to add those second TCs fairly quickly. Going to maybe see some potential scout snipes on these monks.
This is how you can tell how these players have been playing against each other. They've both got the monasteries up at the same time. They've both gone the extra town center, and look at what they're doing with their scouts. Like you were saying, they're sitting around, they're waiting, they're making sure no one's going to get any free relics, especially if they decide to get greedy, go for the ones in front, and of course, want to defend their own monks as well. But this has just been neck and neck from the get-go. You can just tell these guys are on the same team, they've been playing that much together.
Oh yeah, definitely. Very neck and neck. And ooh, the monk saying, I don't care about this relic. I want probably this relic, if I had to guess.
Here we go, though. MbL is moving his scout into position here. Will he sacrifice his scout to get the monk? That's the question.
Well,
And it looks like Lierey's seen... Oh, no, he hasn't.
check the TOVs here. This is this. Yeah, here
Yep.
we go. MbL gonna be aware of this, and that monk is DED dead. I is good at spelling, and of course, scout gonna be able to retreat, fight another day.
Get some healing from the monk that's already in play.
Gonna be running.
I'd go again, but let's see if he can get the convert.
Convert. Liereyy probably gonna have too nice of a reaction for that, and whoa, that was.
He could have had that.
Oh, whoa, MbL.
Whoa!
Oh man, a little bit of dancing with fire right there. But indeed, we will see MbL able to retreat and get that nice little win in this first bout. Of course, though, another monk coming in here from Liereyy will go ahead and grab a relic for himself, so he's not going to be totally out of luck. But, of course, monks are
Let's
going
have
to
a
be
look.
advantage.
Will he scout around where all the relics were? Is he going to move back? And, of course, we know Lierey's scout doesn't have the HP to be able to keep this one. I don't think he's had a chance to heal up. And look at that. MbL's out. He's hunting for that relic. He knows it's gone now.
Yeah.
Let's have a look if he's going to move out across the map and try and find that.
Oh, it looks like he totally went to the wrong position right there.
That's
and
a bugger.
now
And then we go the double from Liereyy.
double relic. It doesn't sound as good.
We'll create a drop. It'll be fine. Tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow.
Okay, maybe.
We've got 2 more relics just outside of MbL's base, so he's going to be able to pull those 2 in, provided Liereyy doesn't go for anything too funky, but he does have the double monk out already, so potentially can try and get over there, get both of them without the scout, but if he gets the scout fight here, the monks, of course, can be able to heal it up or push it away with the conversion.
Of course, that is the case. MbL going to go ahead and go for another relic right now. I think he's just so close to his base that he should be able to escape with no problem. And we might be looking at a situation where it is 3 relics to 2 in favor of MbL. Villager count, essentially even right now. Both players going to be on the 3 TCs without a doubt, as DauT is not in this game.
Man, this has just been such a close series. Every single build we've seen, every village account, every research, it's been just bang on for both players. I can't wait until the fighting begins here, and Liereyy might actually be able to claim this relic.
Indeed he will. Despite being right next to his opponent's base, he definitely invested more into the monks. Of course, with the conversions, going to be shooing away the scout of MbL. And yeah, we've got SEAL Team monks here, going to be swooping in and trying to collect the rock. Ooh,
Is that going to
MbL
be...
thinks he can go for it.
That's
and
a
he
freebie.
will. Okay, but there is this other sort of contingency monk here for Liereyy.
The posse.
Yeah, he's just like waiting for this guy to drop dead so he can like carry the Olympic torch relic back to the monastery.
He'll get there. We've got 2. We've got the scout. Could potentially go for the one
Here we go. Instant
Is
reaction time. Ooh,
gonna
MbL
try
doesn't
and
think
get
he
out
can
of
take
there?
it. Oh,
He's out.
is going to escape.
Look
Alrighty.
at this. Is MbL done with it, though? That's the question. Is he going to come around for another movement? We can see he's got some other units moving outside his base now. What's he thinking about? The relic is trying to get back there so badly. And he drops it to go for the conversion.
Man. We do see MbL is going to escape, but will be down a relic this game. Will it be too big of a difference? Probably not. But, of course, just little scuffles going on. We do see the 2 kills there from MbL, so we did get a little bit of, economic value advantage. But, of course, in the end, it will be Liereyy with the more long-term value. And I guess possibly, notably, a 4-villager lead for MbL, but that's probably going to be pretty insignificant.
MbL moving those villages across the map as well, or I should say monks, sorry there. But moving those monks across the map, trying to get some converts here. Will he get the scout cavalry? That's the question. Whoever gets the scout cavalry here is what we're after.
Oh yeah, 2 monks and a scout for both players, about as even as it gets. And looks like both players are going to be content to disengage because, in reality, what are they even fighting over at this point? All the relics have been taken, and there isn't any sort of other army, and it's not like they can really snowball with any damage. So I think the question is, who is going to add military first? Who is going to potentially add maybe a 4th TC, click up to the Imperial Age? This is where we really need to see these strategies start to diverge.
It's a push versus hold scenario here. Whoever wants to go up first, obviously going to need to make a little bit more of a commitment to it. Whereas if their push can get off the ground, they can get a lot of running start to it. They're going to be in a great spot to push forward, eventually get the king. Whereas the shoes on the other foot for the other player, they'll be up a little bit slower. They need to sit in their defensive. They need to move and kind of just wriggle around and make it as hard to kill as possible. And if they can hang in there, they will be in a good spot. But there's MbL clicking up, looking at 2307.
Indeed, 4 TCs for both players. Definitely very similar approaches, but a 1957 Imperial Age time. That is obviously quite quick. And yeah, again, it just kind of goes back to the whole idea in the beginning of the game. What do Huns do against, well, the power of Indian camels?
All right, we haven't seen any buildings yet because we're pretty much still waiting on that Imperial click. MbL going down for scale barding, Bloodlines on the way as well, so we do know what we're going to be seeing from him. But Liereyy, what is your answer? How are you going to deal with this? Imperial Age has been clicked up, so we should be starting to see some buildings. A little bit of a plan any second now.
Well, we'll have to see. I am quite intrigued, as of course it will be the camel play from MbL. Shocker, shocker, Indian player going for camels. What?
You're telling me no knights?
What? No, he's going to just go full monk and convert all of his opponent's knights. Just to prove you wrong.
There you go, 300 IQ strats.
Oh, definitely. This is why I'm not playing in this tournament. I'm casting it. Oh, Forging and Pikeman. There we go. Of course, Hal plus Siegedram is what we thought in the beginning. And Hal plus Siegedram, it does appear to be. There we go. There are the barracks coming in. Also a stable. So it will be knights to supplement this. And, oh man, Liereyy does not care. The stone walling has begun, already wanting to secure this neutral gold.
The Great Wall of China is going to be on the map very, very soon. Hopefully you can get it up without too much trouble. The scout's going to be pushed back, but MbL is going to be just about ready to make his move.
Yeah, of course. Both players slowly ramping up in military count, and interestingly, it's double barracks. Well, I guess with the 3rd barracks here, and then the double stable play. And so it's going to be scouts, I guess, to snipe monks. And oh, these monks
They're going to get caught out of position if they're not lucky.
Liereyy
He
sees
sees them, and yep.
Yeah, there we go. Scouts jumping right out of the stable, and these monks, oh man, are
They are toast.
They are probably toast, except they're not toast, they're people. Come on, man.
Yeah, you're right. No chemistry yet. And down towards the south of the map, looks like MbL's extending out, trying to get that gold in play as well. Of course, we do know this map a lot about just acquiring all the key positions, any extra resources you can, and having a good staging point to move out from. MbL, those beefy camels ready to go with. Husbandry, plate barding on the way. Imperial Age, of course, has finished up for him.
Yeah, of course, slightly faster imp time for MbL. He does have the food bonus as opposed to, I guess, the wood bonus. And man, those scouts aren't doing anything. And, of course, Halberdier is going to need to be the first thing on the table here for Liereyy, and indeed it is. But are we going to be seeing the attempted snowball here from MbL? No, he's at least going to be marshalling his forces a little bit. And, oh man, it's time for some Indian champions.
What? This is madness, and I'm all about it. Liereyy, Halberdier, Liereyy, Cavalier on the way. So we've got the counter with that when we do look towards the camels. But the long swords, and there we go, Sultans as well from MbL.
There we go. Wanting to, of course, maximize that gold income as early as possible. But yeah, I guess it will be for the long swords in play. More barracks on the way. In case you guys are unfamiliar, Indians do have champions, but they are missing that last armor upgrade. It's going to be...
Which hurts.
Which it really
hurts.
Especially against ranged units. Not going to be potentially as big a deal if it's just pure melee units, though of course it is still relevant. And yeah, now we're going to be seeing slightly larger army from Liereyy. Going to be pushing out with more of a trash army, but is he going to be caught off guard by the swordsman switch? He definitely has absolutely no idea this is coming.
Oh, who would predict that? I feel like this is the little special kind of maneuver that MbL had cooked up for Liereyy. Liereyy knows what's going on here, but if MbL can do something a little bit special, I feel like this is the moment. Pull himself up back into the game, get it to a 2-2 tie, but here we go. Looks like we're going to see the first clash in the middle of the map, but he gets out of there. The raid down in the south on the TC via the Cavalier.
And MbL doesn't have Loom.
What?
Who needs Loom, man? Oh, man. Liereyy even grabbing Arson just to make his halberdiers that much better at killing buildings. Oh, man. But you see, total stonewall here from Liereyy. The most important thing, of course, going to be this neutral gold totally in his corner. Meanwhile, the other neutral gold going to be for MbL, currently being raided, but he'll be able to resaturate that with some more villagers right away. I mean, this is definitely anyone's game going into the Imperial Ages. Both players are sort of fleshing out their armies.
No one's put themselves in a bad position. No one's lost out on this one. I think we're going to see a full post-Imperial Age war here, which is something that's... Man, we've seen a few in this tournament. We saw one last game with, or I should say the map before, we saw Viper versus Nicov. That was insanity. It came down to such a strong play from both players, but at the end of the day, someone will lose, and whoever has the better resources, whoever has the better kind of layout in terms of their base and claimed all that nice, juicy land, that's where it's at.
Yeah, of course, you do see even the double blacksmith play from Liereyy as he really wants to go both cavalry and infantry at the same time. And, well, with the power of arson on his side, don't do this at home, kids. But this
Here comes the reveal.
It's the great reveal. And, yeah, I mean, it's all going to come down to the engagement right here, but that is a lot of two-handed swordsmen. Upgrades aren't the greatest, though. Camel's trying to get, of course, the fight on to the Cavalier. Oh, this is going to be pretty tough, but with the faster reinforcements due to cavalry being quick, this might just be for Liereyy?
I'm going to say so, just because of the way it's fighting, but he does have the hill advantage. Look at that, in rolls the cavalry, or should I say, the camels at this point. Going to take out the town center, though, and Liereyy does get in the extra gold spot. But however, over towards the north of the map, MbL's ready for a counterattack.
Where did you come from, Mr. Camel? Oh, man.
And here's the counter. Straight on top of the gold pile as well, direct opposite sides of the map.
Looks like the camels were able to sneak in before the wall was complete. Oh, man.
I love it.
Oh, just the one hole. Going to be totally wrecking these villagers over here. So it's pretty much tit for tat when it comes to both players totally neutralizing the opponent's neutral gold. There we go. And, oh man, slight military lead here for MbL. He is ahead by like 10 pop, but is this going to be enough to push through the Halberdier and Cavalier of Liereyy?
I am just looking at those two-hand swords getting spammed across the map now. In terms of villager count, we are looking nearly even again. 123 compared to 132. Military 31 to 31, even again. This is like a composition fight at this stage. We're seeing some very interesting compositions. And Paladin, though, on the way for Liereyy. We've got Plate Barding on the way as well. He knows what's up. Oh, yeah. I mean, it seems fairly rare when a player researches Paladin in a 1v1 where the game isn't already decided. Like, Lierey's going for Paladin, and it's a very expensive, you know, tech idea. It's going to make it obviously a lot harder to potentially maybe switch into Cav Archers, but he's going for it, and we'll have to see if it pays off, because the Paladins obviously are going to do total work against the Swordsmen, which, again, are still not amazingly upgraded. Look, they're enough to deal with the Halberdiers, which I think is kind of the thought process here. Then we've got the Camels to deal with the Paladin, hopefully.
Ideally, of course, it's all going to come down to who can take the better engagement. Swordsman waddling across the map right there. I love the two-handed swordsman unit model, man. But yeah, let's see if, well, MbL can get some damage done. Stay in this series. Villagers running away to the production buildings up to the north. Where are the camels, man? They are just patrolling back and forth aimlessly. Oh, man, but the fight here, is this going to be enough for MbL? He has the military advantage.
Where's those camels? Bring in the cavalry.
Oh, well, no. We're just not.
No, not about it. He bails from the fight, leaves the camels alive to fight another day. He knew that one was over, and MbL towards the north there, just on top of Lierey's base, those camels are stuck.
Oh, man. Feels OrnLu, man. Totally stuck right there. They are totally trapped in right now. Even a random double layer of stone walls for no reason that I can tell. Imp, Camel, and Champion on the way, though, for a red player. I think that was deleting the wall. Maybe it's going to
Let's the Halberdiers in.
Of egress for the Camels, but no. MbL not paying attention. We'll have all of those guys mopped up by the Halberdiers of Liereyy. And here come those Paladins across the map. Liereyy now with the military advantage. MbL did throw away quite a few units. Still waiting for those very important upgrades to come in. Now switching into the pikeman line. It's going full Indian infantry here.
What is this? The ball's on Liereyy right now. He's gone for Paladin in a 1v1 versus Indians. Imperial Camel about to drop. We've got pikemen behind this as well. Man, I'm not sure exactly what he was planning on with this, but this could turn around very quickly if all the counters come into play.
Yeah, I mean, you right on
there's
right
Champ.
there. Yeah, there's Champion. We're seeing Champions, Imp, Camels, Paladins all in a 1v1.
You get everything, this guy's. NAC is just providing whatever you want to see.
Oh, yeah. This has been a fantastic tournament so far, and this series is definitely living up to the hype. And, well...
Here we go. Imperial Camels get towards the front. That's where we need you.
Indeed, and the Halberdiers at the back right now, that is literally the not place you want them, as I very eloquently speak in English. But yeah, Halberdiers going to be working their way towards the front. Champions now in the front line. They are going to melt to the Paladins. Nowhere near a cost-efficient fight. But look at the numbers advantage for Liereyy right now. I mean, is this possibly an overboom from MbL? It's weird to say with less than 140 villagers, but here we go.
Look at the champions. They get eaten alive by the Paladins. They're there to deal with the Halberdiers, and their Paladins are just getting the full surround. Like you were saying, though, 118 villagers for Liereyy, 137 for MbL. Both players at just about maximum pop there when this fight did go down, and just the lumber advantage in the military for Liereyy was huge.
Yeah, it really seemed to make a big difference right there, and the fact that the champions, they're not doing very well at all against the Paladins, who were really able to take the brunt of the champion fire, not the Halberdiers.
The Camels just couldn't engage, and now with so many Halberdiers, they can't get into the fight.
Even Guild's coming in for Liereyy. He is really set for this one to go the distance. He has a massive military lead right now, almost double the army of his opponent. He is in the production of MbL, but obviously MbL with his series life on the line, not going to want to let this one go without a fight, but now both of the neutral goals in favor of Liereyy.
What's happening? There's the fight. The Indian Camels going to need to find their worth, but that one house blocking just about everything, which honestly may be working out in MbL's favor a little bit here. But towards the north, on the wall line of MbL, what's going on there? Is that a castle drop or something exciting happening? Just a watchtower.
Not quite as exciting, but importantly, map control totally in favor of Liereyy right now. He has a castle, importantly, in the south, totally securing control of the second, or neutral gold rather. Already has this gold walled off, and with the relic advantage to boot, I mean, this is just going to be so good for our blue player as this game drags further and further onward. I mean, I think it's really MbL's time to make something happen. The scores are dead even, both at 200 pop. Let's see how
pop per play.
Plays out.
Halberdier to Halberdier. The number advantage, though, 79 military compared to 68 of MbL. It's not a huge advantage, but it's definitely in Lierey's favor. I don't know where he's going to get the engagement here. This is the issue that we're going to see.
Oh man, it's such a tricky engagement for both players. Obviously, both have their infantry and cavalry on just the two different control groups, as we are not seeing Nicov in this game, Kappa. But yeah, it's obviously going to be a very delicate dance from both players. In the background, we have Liereyy switching into the Cav Archers, and the reason he can make the tech switch right now is because he has the gold to do so with both of the neutral golds. Is it going to be the big difference maker? Seadram as well. This is really MbL trying to hold on right now.
Oh, that's the thing. Both players have not lost much. How much resource have we got in the bank, actually? We've got 1,000 gold in the bank for Liereyy at the moment. What have we got for MbL? About 1,000 as well, so very even. But the thing to remember, as OrnLu pointed out before, we are looking very low on resource to gather for MbL at this stage. Liereyy just took everything from the get-go, and look at those Halberdiers. They just got thrown away in that fight.
Yeah, again, we see MbL just hemorrhaging more and more of his army. You can't really do this, man. I mean, yes, you're both working with very large economies, but is it going to make a big difference? Oh,
massive raid towards the south side of the map. Yeah, Indian Camels just showing how bulky they really are. Looks like MbL may be able to claim another gold swap back, but look at that. Liereyy moving the armor, basically the entire armored cavalry round in defense here.
Oh man, but of course all those villagers were sniped. There's still a decent amount of gold left over right here, and of course the Cav Archers are going to be woefully inadequate against these Imperial Camels. But man, it's going to be the Halberdiers right now that need an answer. Both players actually have the same upgrades for their infantry as it happens, but looks like Imp Camels might be trying to intercept some reinforcements, maybe go for this castle over here. I'm not sure what this is going to be. Maybe another huge fight. Again, both players working at around that 200 mark.
That's it. We're just in a dance at this moment. The first person to take the engagement here, they're going to bloody want to hope they're going to win it, because that's going to determine potentially this entire series. MbL doing a good job with his dance, trying not to engage the pikes with the camels, but it looks like he just doesn't have the halbs to be able to deal with this one. And look, the Paladins just get brought in. Liereyy is not scared to waste them.
No, he is not, because he has the gold to burn right now, and he's just working with a 30 military lead right now. And again, that's just him having less villagers. Yes, he has the less food and wood income.
Look at that queue.
What the heck is this queue right here?
He has the resources to make this happen.
Man,
Come on, MbL, bring this to Game 5.
Oh man, this is looking like my games. Just no macro, just queue up 15 military units per
The old
building.
Black Forest spam.
Oh yeah, of course, man. Oh man, this could really still go either way. Obviously, a pretty nice lead here for Liereyy, but he does have to seal the deal right now. Finally, we're seeing
the
some
siege equipment.
What are these siege units? I thought this was CBA. Even though neither player is making their unique unit, but still. Oh man, Siege Rams coming in as well.
This is where the difference kicks in.
Yeah.
MbL is not going to be able to defend himself. As soon as he starts losing his production villages, starts losing his production buildings, starts losing everything, this is where the issue is going to come. And those Paladins, if they hit the economy, we know what damage that does.
Heavy Cav Archers, not too shabby in themselves, but honestly, this might just make more military space for MbL, which is what he really needs right now. He really needs more space. He has the resources, he has the units queued up, but you know, the government of MbL is like, no, we do not have the infrastructure to support you right now, and this might be a big problem.
But look at the defensive barracks being thrown up. He needs that spam over there. He wants the reinforcement, and that's how this is going to work. The castle probably not going to be able to hold on at this rate. The village is repairing. The trebuchets on the back of it. We've got the siege rams moving in as well. And here we go. This is probably going to be the big engagement.
Oh man, huge fight happening right here.
The Paladins going straight for the eco.
Oh, but there's a huge wall of units. It's all the
Champions! Champions are back!
The champions are coming. Oh man, it's all the reinforcements that were stuck in the queue before. MbL does have the population lead. It has taken
This could be going well.
This is actually going pretty well for MbL.
Considering.
All things considered, it's still super even right now. Could go either way. Oh man, but it's just we have to keep in the back of our head that there's still a lot more gold Liereyy has at his disposal. Is this going to be enough to clean up the fight? Both militaries so even right now.
MbL cleaning it up.
Oh man, he is.
What is this? 52, 64 military for MbL. He's finally in the lead. We've got Liereyy down to 170 pop. MbL back up to 190. Obviously just reinforcing so fast.
Nice quick walls here
This
as
is
well.
good.
Oh man, what a game right here, guys. Paladins now getting cleaned up. Kill-death ratio is still in the advantage of Liereyy, though, and I feel like, okay, yes, MbL held on right there, but is it going to be enough? Once Liereyy gets his production up to snuff, you look at his bank, he still has resources to burn right now. Meanwhile, MbL, gold critically, just dropping down to approximately 0, and this might be the deciding factor. Another huge fight at the entrance of MbL's base right here, but MbL has way more units right now.
Look at this around as well. Gets on top of those camel archers. A tactic we have seen by MbL so many times. Pushes them out of the engagement without being able to back up the siege rams there, without being able to back up the rest of the paladins, the halberdier, the camels. They just absolutely massacre everything in their way.
Oh man, what a fight there. Again, MbL still with the population lead, massive military, I guess it was 10 military lead, close enough.
It's a lot of military on the field.
It's a lot of military now. Oh man, but of course the castle here is going to provide so much damage in terms of supporting fire, especially since again, both of these players lack that last armor upgrade against all the range units, and now look at all of this damage that the Cav Archer's doing from the back.
Man.
And now we see Liereyy once again start to climb ahead in terms of population. Is MbL throwing away too many units here once again? And oh man, look at Lierey's bank. He's fine. So is MbL for some reason.
MbL has a lot of gold utilizing that market, but then again, look at the amount of units that MbL had queued up before. I don't think the bank's going to tell us the full story here. Look at how much he's got there.
Oh man. Still with plenty of gold in the bank for the time being. Military counts again very even. Both players at the absolute limit in terms of population. Oh, this could really go either way. Where's MbL's army, man? Is he going for the big push in the south? Yes, he is.
No.
But there's barely anything left.
No.
There's 73 gold to fight over, man. You need your army right here where your farms
The cavalry archers are in the base.
Oh, man. Oh, man, the infantry is totally out of position. Though this big raid coming in here from Liereyy. Hounders in to support as well, and there just is not the pop space to deal with this all at once. And yes, this castle is definitely going to go
The
down.
halberdiers will get there.
The halberdiers are going to get there, man. They're going to poke their way to victory. But
What? The economy. The economy of
man.
MbL. That said, still in the villager lead, 113 compared to 116. Military count 73 to 68, so it is still dead even. But look at MbL. He's just losing ground in the north.
Oh man, just so much territory being lost over here. Losing the last remaining
No
bit of his
thumbring for
gold
Liereyy
info.
until now. I'll just point that out.
Yeah, of course. That is relevant as the Cav Archers are quite inaccurate, but Castle, random petards, what are you doing here?
We've seen champions, we've seen petards,
Oh, man.
everything.
But yeah, this is how do you deal with this army in the north of the base of MbL. Liereyy with around a 13 military advantage right now. Troops streaming in one by one. That is not efficient, but there are still some imp camels on the way. Halberdier numbers looking somewhat low.
Oh man, how do you come out of this? He needs to push him back and find some ground, but the cavalry archers are everywhere. The damage is done towards the front there. It's nice that he's kind of sectioned his base off a little bit more, gets the repairs on the town center, but there's just so many idols in comparison.
Oh yeah, so much inefficiency in the economy of MbL right now. he, again, still has resources, but again, is it an efficient trade? Look at the kill-death ratio, so significantly in favor of Liereyy right now.
That just got out of hand so quickly.
Yeah, it was like -30 to -40, now it's jumping up to +100 in favor of Liereyy. Again, the supporting fire from these Cav archers being pretty much unchallenged right now. Like 4 Cav archers just
in the back.
Just in the back doing so much work right now. And again, Liereyy has all of the gold in the world that he can work with. Yes, he's using a lot of gold units here. Actually, MbL's pushing him back.
Is this just a tactical retreat from Liereyy and he's going to push it back forward? Look at that, he moves back with the cavalry archers, uses it to get that damage bonus that he wants, push in as much as possible without taking minimal surface area damage, and population 172 to 160. MbL's not out yet. It's looking bad, but he's not out.
He's down, but he's not out. He can also have plenty of stone left to sell, notably. That can definitely be a pretty good idea for him. Cav archers, they're fine, they're fine. But again, we really have to remember that map control totally in favor of Mr. Liereyy. Villager count now dipping below 100 from MbL, now 20 pop behind. And is the lack of especially food income with all of those farming villagers down, is that going to be the difference maker? Because look, MbL's no food in the bank and he wants some camels.
As we said, it's not over till MbL says it's over. He's still going for another push there on the front, but his eco is being just entirely decimated. We've got Helbs running around, we've got cavalry archers running around. They're just doing all the damage they can. The champions, again, doing their best, but against the cavalry archers, what are they really going to achieve?
Dying a very painful death. And that is indeed what we're seeing right here. As you
So many units getting thrown away.
So many units dying right now, but you just see the kill-death ratio getting more and more and more in favor of Liereyy, now able to grab the Hussar tech, really just sort of rounding out that post-imp situation when gold is running low. He got guilds ages ago, so all the marketing he's been doing has been at a slightly better rate. And now MbL switching into probably with skirmishers, but we got the cavalry here from
comes the raiding. This is not what we want to see. It's been absolutely brutal. These guys have fought to the nail. But the gold count just isn't in this anymore. It's going to come down to the trash warfare. Who can keep the most of their expensive units alive and who can achieve the most with what they've got left.
And that is not a ton left for either, as, really it's going to be about conserving those gold units, but I feel like the heavy Cav archers are going to be so much easier to keep alive as they fight from the back, whereas the imp camels, they fight from the front and they just, die to, a few halberdier swipes. So it's going to be pretty tricky. Random militia here from Liereyy, why not? But yeah, Siege Rams even coming in as well. And again, it's map control totally in favor of Liereyy, looking at around a 3K, 4K score lead, and it is now going to be possibly the killing blow.
This could be it. I don't know how MbL is going to be able to fight back from this one. Down to 149 population, 185 for Liereyy. Lierey's economy being pretty much untouched the entire game. We've just got this big stream of blue, and it's moving all the way across the map, devastatingly towards Liereyy. Siege Rams are in on the action, so the production buildings will fall behind this as well.
And again, it's about snowballing that advantage. Also, notably, MbL is really going to be running out of wood to gather, because this wood line is pretty much unusable right now, and this one in the back is going to be running pretty dry. This one has been raided constantly, and this really is the last stand of our red player. His king is in this castle right here. I mean, regicide almost never comes down to killing the king, but it is worth noting as we do see the, the armies of Liereyy. The onslaught of the Hunnic hordes of Attila.
You cannot stop them, and that's what's being proved here. The Indian camels, again, going for one last push. This is all the gold units that MbL has left. And look at that, the cavalry archers are out of the way. This is just looking absolutely brutal, but like we say, MbL is not done yet. He's going to go for it. This is the last game to hold on. Keep his title as undefeated in NAC2, but Liereyy is also after the same title.
Indeed, he is. More and more blue little blots in the base of MbL. His population is dropping faster than my rating after a day of playing. And, oh man, there is nothing left here from MbL. 1/4 of the army of his opponent. And, yeah, this is just not going to be something that MbL can win.
This is just getting more and more brutal. I really want to throw it to MbL. I want to say there's a comeback here, but I can't see it. I hope he surprises us somehow. But there's the GG. The game is over, and our winner is Liereyy. 3-1. He stays unbeaten in NAC2.
Indeed, he does. It is going to be the 3-1 win, as you mentioned, but a really excellent series. A lot of the games are going to be very close. Well, they were close.
That's it.
Yeah.
Some of the best games we have seen of it thus far. And this is only day 3, guys. So much more to come. But that was a phenomenal series. Absolutely fantastic from both players. I don't think either of them can be upset with the way they played. MbL, of course, sad that he has lost this one. We can see it on the cam there. A little bit disappointed in such a high expectation series here. Liereyy just trying to figure out how he's done it now as well, but such a phenomenal effort from both players.
Oh yeah, you see that gold advantage though. I really think this is the big difference maker. Look at
That's
that.
it. This is where those cavalry archers came from.
Oh yeah, that is where they came through and really just handed it to Mr. Liereyy in the end, winning him this series. Turk, Roomy,
My man.
it was an absolute pleasure to cast with you, man.
Oh, this
Haven't
has
had a
been
chance
too much
before.
fun. Too
Yeah.
much fun. And to have such an energetic series as well.
Oh yeah.
This is what we want. This is absolutely what we want.
This is definitely a great way to end the day. Are we good?
Looks like we're just about in time for interviews here. We're going to have Liereyy and MbL in 1 sec, guys. And we'll see exactly what's going on from there.
I'll throw it over to the couch. That will be it from me, everybody. Thank you all so much. I hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, we'll be getting this interview with Turk and Liereyy and maybe MbL in just a second.
First of all, thank you so much for such a phenomenal series from both of you. And look, there's so many questions I have to ask here, but I'll try and keep it brief, because I know we're getting late now. We're so far behind schedule, because we've had so many phenomenal games from the get-go. But I guess let's open it up to Liereyy first from this one. How is it? You two play on a team very regularly. You play a lot of games against each other. We know that. Does it make a difference when you end up in a game against each other? Do you know his strategies kind of the way he thinks? And do you kind of get in a different zone because of it? Or is it more just you kind of get ready, just play a little bit standard, and then try and adapt from there?
Well, of course, we know each other really well and know our styles. And we play according to the opponent's style as well. So, I mean, of course, it's a rivalry, but we're still friends, so.
That's good at the end of the day. And MbL, we saw some just brutal tactical moves from you. We're talking ungarrisoning behind, just coming around on top of your opponent, not giving him any way to really get out of there. Man, is that again down to the fact you just know Liereyy so well in the way he's going to play? He's going to overcommit and you can go for those little kills?
He can overcommit, yes. I don't know. I don't remember when I did that, but I think I don't know. No, not sure actually. I guess I know Liereyy will sometime. I know that, for example, in Malian's first game, that he will go crossbow and push pretty hard, and I just had to defend with skirms. I knew he would go in there, get ballistic early, and try to kill me really quick, but yeah, it didn't really work for him that time. But I know how he plays, but he's playing good, so not too much to do.
That's it. You've both been playing phenomenally. And look, at the end of the day, we all won, the guys watching here, so couldn't be happy that you guys decided to play.
Sorry, man. All good.
And we're switching our tech, because something mustn't have been working. But moving into game 2, we had Seize the Hump, basically map of choice. Why did we go... This is known to just be an onslaught of a map. Games are over in about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Any reason you decided to pick it?
He picked it, so
Yeah.
Well, I know MbL's economy, so That's why.
What do you mean?
Oh!
I know if
That's
if we both go the same strategy, I'm most of the times ahead. So I don't know. I feel like
Yeah. Well, it was just margins that made us. One of us could win. Like it was a tower war. We were fighting with Wales. It was about who could win that tower war, who would win the game.
That's it, and we realised that very quickly. You had the barracks up on the high ground as well. You had such a quick reinforcement time, but sadly just couldn't get the repairs on that tower, forced to ungarrison,
Yeah.
and that's where the game did really come into it. I guess kind of looking on from there, did you kind of have to readjust your strategy at all, MbL, thinking about it? Or were you like, all right, we can prepare from here, this is the first one, we can pull this back quite easily?
What do you mean in that game?
In the rest of the series from
Rest
there.
of the year, I think I had a good draft and I could I came back, but
Yep.
he played it pretty solidly, so I'm not sure what to say. But
Yeah, that's
I think I went
absolutely
for a
fair.
bit wrong unit choice and stuff like that, and took bad fights. So that's what cost me the game. I was thinking myself, go back, but I took the fight anyway. So I don't know, it's stupid.
Absolutely. Look, end of the day, it worked out like it did, but we saw some fantastic games. Liereyy, I guess moving towards the last game there, a lot of people are going to say Huns versus Indians is very unfavored, but I guess you kind of showed them today. Did you kind of just go the Huns because you wanted to leave Mongols towards the end of the series? So if you did need to go into the next map, you'd know you had the Mongol Hunt advantage for Coast to River, or do you feel confident going in against Indians with Huns?
I feel like both, because I didn't want Mongols against Indians, because it doesn't really go well.
Yep.
And I know Hans can beat Indians. And if it was Spanish, I would still have some good chances. Obviously not that good ones, but could still do something. And I also wanted to save Mongols for the last map because there's a lot of hunting there.
Look, absolutely. All good reasons behind it. And the last question I've probably got as well for MbL, we saw a lot of use of champions there in that last game. Any chance you can kind of run us through the decision-making behind that? Because obviously, we did see Liereyy going for a lot of help, would have been able to great to soak that, but did you just have problems with the mobility behind them, where you couldn't kind of get them into the spot you wanted? Or
I think I was just pop capped too much. I couldn't get enough number out, especially when I switched over to halbs. I just had too many villagers, I felt, and I couldn't. I just had my camos. I could fight with them. I was 200 pop. I couldn't really take the fight that I wanted to. I could have switched. I could have started with skirm or something, or anything like that. Skirm, camo, skirm, halb, something like that. But the killing hunts is pretty hard, even with Indians. Indians bit overrated now after the nerf. Like their
Yeah.
camels has been nerfed, and the halbs are insanely good versus the camels. So I don't think Indians is really a favorable save against Huns. It's kind of even, sort of.
yeah, absolutely, and it was a great play from both of you there. We probably witnessed one of the best games in the series. Probably the only thing I would say that comes close there is probably the Nicov versus TaToH. Nicov versus Viper in kind of the end game they had there, where it was just down to trash. Everyone was going for it. And look, I'm going to throw one to you as well, Liereyy, because MbL's gone through this interview. It always sucks when you've lost a series and you have to go through it.
It's
So
fine.
you get the awkward question as well. And this one's for you, and take your time. If you were a piece of furniture, what would you be and why?
Piece of furniture.
If you could relate to a piece of furniture, what is it and why?
How many furnitures are there anyway? Let me think. I don't know. Table maybe, because I like to hold stuff. I don't know.
There you
no
go. I'll
idea.
call that a win. But that's just to even things up. Thank you so much both for joining
Yeah.
us here for the interview. It was great to get some insight into the games. And look, well played to both of you. I'm sure we're going to see better from MbL from here. But Liereyy, congratulations on the
Thank
win
you.
and staying undefeated over at NAC2.
Thank you.
No worries at all. Good play, my boys. I'll see you around in the next couple games.
trying to mute the background sound as well, and I think you should hear me, guys. We had some small tiny issues, but already prepared the schedule for tomorrow for you. We did the drafting in the background. Let's take a look at the overall brackets, maybe. And so at the moment we see Liereyy, the only guy. Oops, we will reload that tableau. What is it?
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah.
I need to refresh all of them?
No.
Okay. And this should be it. Liereyy undefeated at the top. Jordan without a single win at the bottom. We have Fire, Nicov, and DauT with 1 win, 2 losses. TaToH, TheViper, and MbL with 2 wins, 1 loss at the moment. We will see the resulting match for day number 4. Nicov against Fire, Jordan against DauT, MbL against TaToH, and Liereyy versus TheViper. Should be pretty interesting matches. The schedule for tomorrow will look like this. You can see Tuesday. We'll start the day off with Nicov against Fire. Then we will have the second match of the day already. Well, pretty anticipated one. Liereyy against Fire, followed by DauT against Jordan, and the last series of the day will be MbL versus TaToH. There, the 2-1 guys facing each other, and this should be a pretty epic day. Oh god, I'm excited for that one for sure. And this is a time where I answer maybe some questions. Maybe we'll take a look at the chat if I was muted the whole time. Not really. Nope, that was lucky because I didn't check the stream or the chat at all. Best of 13 on Sunday for sure. So this is the time where I again have to thank you all for being around. We had a long list of donations flying in, and so many subs again, so many people giving bits, so many people spreading the love. Remember that all the series are on YouTube as well, if you want to check that out. We will have a lot of behind the scenes pictures at on our Twitters. Everyone is posting them. You can follow BBQTurkman. TaToH is putting some on. We have Mem there, me. And soon I will start the rerun again. Tomorrow we will be back at 13 GMT. We will take another look at the schedule while we see DauT around. Fire actually already claimed the PC because he wants to train for tomorrow for his match very early on against Mr. Jordan. Lineups are not set yet. And that's why I can't really talk about casters. I don't know how that will look and how we will do it. How ends the last series? Exclamation mark bracket will help you out. Fire training 3 nights in a row, that's true. Thank you for sponsoring and hosting, casting this great event. Actually, the sponsors are kind of you guys. All the people in the chat, so kind to me. Can you set the cam delay for tomorrow? Unlikely. Nicov will cast the game if he wants to. I don't think so. Why 15:30? TheViper wants to see the Manchester United game. Message me, or I actually messaged him when they did draw, and I promised him that he will have that time off. He is kind of forced by me to always play prime times, and like giving him one evening off is absolutely key. And the Rocket Beans TV plan, you are playing from 15 to 20. Well, that's not going to happen. We will see. New emotes, I should add some for sure. And yeah, I can answer some more questions. I will add myself to the webcam as well. You will follow the schedule. What happens if 2 players have the same amount of points? Well, it's a complex thing. It's how was the direct opponent? Then who has more wins against drawn players? Then Buchholz, and then points, so map wins. What did you teach? Primary school, math and social science. If you have any more questions, this is your time to ask. I hope you had a wonderful day. We had 11 hours of beautiful content again. Casters have been amazing. And let me check, did we just have a donation that I missed? No. So many beautiful people flying in. Thank you so much, guys. So many subs. You have been supporting me so much. Do you know who's casting what tomorrow? No. Are you still a teacher? No. Are you enjoying yourself? Yes. What is the price for NAC2 and in NAC1? NAC1 was 2,500. NAC2 is 14,000. When did you learn to play poker? 2006. What is Buchholz? go and Google Swiss system to learn more about how this tournament works. Anything surprise you in NAC? Yes, how underperforming DauT was in the old day. What has happened to you in the cast with Viper? What happened? Because I was too funny for you? What does Buchholz mean? What's going on? Oh, look at that hug. DauT and Memb at the other cam. Isn't that pretty? Memb wants to play Black Forest. Yeah, most likely. Do you think the Seize the Hump is a bit wild card, kind of luck based? Absolutely not. It's super skilled, very intense map. It can be short, but we have seen longer games on that one as well. I think it's actually like wood distribution could be a bit of a luck map, but we didn't see that today. All the players playing ECL 1v1 playing on the tournament this week. We are trying to schedule some. We have good timings for them and trying to work around the schedule. Friday morning seems to be likely at the moment that before Rocket Beans TV, Diamond actually play here and we will cast that here as well. Is Liereyy playing FIFA? He actually played quite a bit against Memb, yes. How's your strength level so far? Better than NAC1? Pretty similar, I would say. Do you believe that DauT could retire as an AoE coacher? What is retire an AoE coacher? That doesn't really make a lot of sense. If he retires and then becomes an AoE coacher, I don't think that's what he wants to do. What's your most embarrassing moment? I won't tell you that on stream. What do you think is the biggest improvement for NAC1 so far? Less downtimes, I believe. I think we did a better job of having series after series, and also like having in-between entertainment is, I think, pretty good. What is Liereyy playing on PlayStation 4? FIFA. What about Vivi and Yo next time? We are at NAC2. Will there be an NAC2 caster tournament? No. Will the stream be active during Rocket Beans TV? We will host them, yeah. Are you mad with DauT? Your face changed when you talk about him. I hate him. Like, I would really love if he would leave my tournament. Like, what he did is indescribable. Yeah. The Chinese players not qualify or they not try to come. It's Chinese New Year, my friend. I did directly invite Mr. Yo. I actually only wanted to do one open qualifier and wanted to invite the 6 invited players plus Yo, but he had to decline sadly. Are you favoring MbL by giving him his natural late state? Actually, it's good for him to play late, yeah, compared to, for example, the Viper who doesn't really want to play that late. What beer did you buy for NAC? You probably mean like this edition. Pilsner Urquell, Becks, Carlsberg, Paulaner, and some Radler. I read on Twitter that you plan to use the excess money to do something environmental. I want to do, like, not environmental. I want to do CO2 payback for all the flights I did, yes. Because I have so much leftover money and I'm kind of a green guy, yeah. Are the players required to shower every day? No. Does DauT behave better? Why are you keep talking about NAC3? The chat isn't showing on stream? Okay, well, we can add that as well if you want. I don't really know what scene we might go then. I can go for this one if you want to. How do you feel about people not understanding your sarcasm? Really good. It shows me how dumb my chat is and gives me good feeling that I'm a better human being than they are. Not like Ecosia, the CO2 payback. Just Google CO2 compensation for flights. You will find a lot of websites. Was out already in the shisha bar? More than in the apartment. What do you think about T90? Lovely guy, incredible caster. Are you able to pay yourself for your effort? No. Is BBQT very sad? He seemed like it, yeah. Are you happy with the chat? Yes. Props to BBQTurkman+OrnLu, really good cast. Post that in comments. Give them the love, and I will try to give them the love you are trying to give them as well. And thanks for the kind words. Are you planning some days off after NAC2? Well, we have German Monday after that, so that's not an option. Did you invite Resonance 22? No. Is Turkman Turkish? No, he's Australian. Why isn't Zero Empires there? He's coming on Thursday. How come not everyone knows that DauT is unhateable? I don't know. Do you know something about AoE4? Yes. Private message me and I will tell you everything. Which map will be the tightest one tomorrow? Let's take a look at the schedule again to answer that question better. I think Criminal one. Cheers. Nicov Fire could be interesting. Liereyy Viper is really interesting. DauT Jordan could be somewhat one-sided. I think MbL TaToH could be interesting. The closest... Ooh. Depends if Fire is performing well. That could be really tight. Nicov should be better. Liereyy Viper. Probably Liereyy Viper. Second? I would love to leave 14 our time, 13 GMT.
14.
Yeah.
It's our time because Lan is.
Yeah. 14 hour time.
I will try them to schedule for 11.
Yeah, Jordan is probably playing at 11 as well.
On Friday.
Yeah,
That's
on-
fine. We have two beers.
Yeah. Okay. But like for us, it would be better if you like schedule 10 and 12 to stream the games, if that's an option.
Okay.
Okay, TaToH was just around, and we're trying to schedule the ECL games against, like, Secret against Heresy at the moment. We'll see DauT versus Liereyy, potentially, right? Who will cast the final? We will see. If we were a piece of furniture, what would it be? Great question, very creative. Is Area 2 more important to you than Planet Earth? Tough question. Tough question. I would probably say no to look good on stream. Best villager talk? TeamBauch waren die. What would... Oh god, NAC3 question. Are you in 1v1 ECL round? No. What day everyone is flying home at? Monday. I think Jordan is leaving on Sunday though. What do you think about T1000? Very strong air conditioner. One of my favorites. I really like how fast he gets my hair dry. Are you happy with the viewer numbers today? Yes. Why is Rogan the best audio taunt? Because of the deep voice. Brackets? What? It's off? Or did you write that incorrectly? Let me test that. Brackets? That's not working? Oh, it is. It is. If DauT wins NAC2, will you do 1,000 push-ups? I will do 1,000 push-ups regardless. Would you wear the one ring to destroy it? No. The ring would become so powerful through me. Trying to use it for good, it would possess me. And would kind of destroy me. Can we see DauT in grass DauT headband? I'm not sure if he wants to wear it. What's your favorite non-English audio taunt? Oh, I only use English audio taunts. Why does DauT, the largest player, not simply eat the other players? Okay. In which city are you? Hamburg. Can I come to the meet and greet? Yes. What is square root of 361? Probably 19. Would you win against Jordan in a 1v1? We did some practice game and I looked pretty good. Can we see those push-ups too? Well, you have to be on my channel. On a scale from 1 to 10, and best is 10, how happy are you with NAC so far? 8.5. Do you have hippo genes? Well, I once ate lettuce. Does that count? Could anyone beat DauT at arm wrestling? Sure. Otherwise he would be arm wrestling champion, right? Will there be more games? Not today, my friend. I will start the rerun pretty soon. You can go over to YouTube and see some games, but the live games will start back tomorrow, 13 GMT, here at the schedule that you can see. What do you love about hippos? I don't love them. Just a random meme. Will we see some more Nili plus Viper casting? You're my favorite casting duo. Well, we got so much shit today, and the feedback was so bad that we will probably not cast together. Like, both of us were really down after the really bad feedback there. So not going to happen, most likely. Have you taken the crew to the Reeperbahn? No, but Saturday is the day. Favorite caster combo? Me and me as a clone. That would be great. would be the best puncher. Will Bill Gates play in NAC3? No NAC3 questions. Thanks for the great event. That's not a question. Are they now allowed to live stream the ECL games tomorrow? That's what I heard, yeah. Will you inform Bill Gates about NAC on his next AMA? What should I tell him? Jordan plus DauT best casters? Potentially. I really enjoyed it, but MbL plus Liereyy was even better. Thanks for boosting my confidence. Do you have a favorite match for Rocket Beans Friday? I like the tandem pretty much. I'm looking forward to the tandem one. I'm obviously pretty excited for the one where I'm playing myself as well, right? How did Liereyy versus MbL turn out? Exclamation mark. Bracket will help you, or we can take a look at the brackets together. What are Liereyy and MbL playing? FIFA. No more games today, indeed. That's the overall bracket at the moment. We'll see more of the players answering questions like DauT and Jordan did today. Well, I was just quickly buying a new screen for the players. That's why they jumped in. They can surely do that, yeah. I'm living in Hamburg. What's your favorite song to listen to when you're working out? I just have the UKF drum and bass playlist. I don't really listen to specific songs. Who's casting the finals? We will see. Will there be a deathmatch game Friday? Yes. Do you think long vacations after Sunday? No. Who's the best FIFA player of NAC2? No idea. Do you enjoy Scotch whiskey? Not that much. When and where is the meet and greet? Exclamation mark. Meet and greet will help you. Or all the info are also on AoE zone. Will Metasa show up at the meet and greet? No. Do you what matchups on Rocket Beans? AoE zone will give you all the info. Will you do CO2 computation for electricity using at NAC2? Not on my plan, but I wouldn't mind that. Why Jordan losing every game? No idea. Maybe you sent him a letter to his home address and yeah, he will give you a nice answer. Sometimes if you're looking good, it's tricky to achieve more in your life. Can't Liereyy don't go with the permission from his parents to Rocket Beans or with his parents? No, it's Rocket Beans policy, not the parents. Can you tell us something about Jordan's situation? What situation? Are all sleeping in your house? No, we have a hotel. Will you play the hype song tonight? Just for you. When did everyone arrive? Friday. And do you think the jet lag influenced South American players? Well, I gave them the later times, right? They didn't sleep well, but those times are wrong, by the way, at the bottom. Maybe it did. Yeah, I'm not sure. Will Donny cast? Not here. Will AV2 Definitive Edition replace Woobly? We will see. Will you give yourself more sleep tonight? We will see. 3 more questions, and then I'm letting myself go. Whatever that means. Will there be an announcement of the announcement at NAC2? Not that I plan. Is Jordan tuning in Hamburg? I already ignored that question. Why did I read that out? Is there a special announcement planned, like the secret reveal last time you could hype up? I could, but I won't. One more question. Do you believe AO macros should be taught in school? No. That was it, guys. The schedule for tomorrow is as followed. We will start off with Nicov against Fire, Liereyy against Viper, DauT against Jordan, and MbL versus TaToH are closing out the day. At the moment, MbL, the 2-1 guy, TaToH as well, Liereyy undefeated, the Viper following up with 2-1, could even it out, 3-1, DauT and Jordan, the 1-2 guys, Nicov 1-2, oh no, Jordan, the 0-3 guys, Nicov, Fire, the 0-2 guys there at the start, and that should be a pretty good evening. I will play the bracket. I will play the hype song because you have been so good to me. Have a great night. We'll see each other 13 GMT tomorrow.
Beep,
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Let's directly jump into the next game. And let's take a look what will happen here. Oops, what is going on? The game ended. That's because the series is already over. This is just a VOD to avoid some spoilers. So, yeah, you already saw the series till the end, and this is just a VOD without any content coming up, and therefore you can now close the video, and I hope you didn't get spoiled before at YouTube. Enjoy, guys.